People say I ain't no good, and I'm crazy as a loon. Cause I shave my head in the morning, pick guitar in the afternoon. Just like old Chief and Charlie, I like to lay around in the shade. Well, I ain't got no money, but you better believe I got it made. Cause I ain't asking nobody for nothing if I can't get it on my own. If you don't like the way I'm living, just leave this bald-headed country boy alone.
What's up, folks? Thank y'all for tuning in to Josh Podcast. I know y'all ain't seen my fat ass in a while because I've been lazy and ain't wanted to work. But I'm in Nashville, and if I don't get back to work, I'm not gonna have a fucking job. So here I am with a bunch of my friends today.
We're all here for support.
How old an intro?
Thank you. Yeah, well, there's this thing called getting complacent, and I've got it. I've got it. So I'm gonna let y'all do my job for me today. That's why I wanted to do a group show. Y'all just didn't know. I tricked y'all, some bitches. I got a room full of people I very much like and care about that are super talented. Some have been on the show, some haven't. And so we're gonna have fun. We're gonna talk about a whole bunch of different stuff today. We'll start off by introducing everybody. Leah and Miss Alyssa Hale over there. Leah's got a podcast y'all need to check out. I'll let her tell you about it in just a second. Miss Alyssa Hale has had some new music drop. Then next to them is my dude, Mr. Jared Weeks. How are you, Bubba?
I'm good, man, but I'll be a lot better with those shoes on.
We already talked about them shoes earlier.
They're amazing.
If anybody else had them shoes on, if anybody else in the world had them shoes on, I think they'd charge me for sex. But not her.
I think Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, it's a modern type thing, yeah.
Yeah, it's
like
something.
It's got buckles.
An edgier version.
Yeah.
It's something. And next to him is his beautiful wife. I'll let you introduce her.
This is my beautiful wife, Nikki Weeks.
I was trying to let you lean into.
Yeah, sorry.
Into that
His
compliment.
shoes threw me off. I'm like, shoes, squirrel. My ADD
If
kicks
it gets
in.
any more descriptive than that, I'm usually like, out.
Yeah, I didn't want to make you blush too much this thing. And then next to her is dude, this dude is so sick. This is just a beast. But my favorite drummer in town, and probably everybody's favorite drummer, Mr. Devin. How are you, Bubba?
Good, man. Happy to be here.
I'm happy to have
Happy to
all
be here.
of y'all here.
Literally, it was just the other night at Whiskey Jam.
Yeah.
You invited me. You were like, come here.
Just the other
I'm here now.
Well, I couldn't help it. Whenever I ran into y'all on Sunday, and I've been wanting to have you back on the show anyway. I've been wanting to catch up with people that in the past couple of years we've had on the show just to kind of see where they was at. And I've been wanting to get like new folks on anyway. But I was like, you know what? Let's just get like a group show going. And whenever it just kind of came together, I was like, oh, y'all two would mesh anyway. Like y'all two.
I'm already getting
Good
goofy
vibes,
vibes.
good
Dude, I love the goofy
Well,
vibes.
I mean,
I didn't expect to see you Sunday. Like, I had no idea you would be there. And I walked
Anything-
in, I was like, whoa, hey, buddy.
anything that is veteran based,
Yeah.
and mental health based, all you got to do is
Well,
ask
then,
me one time.
we're going to be seeing a lot of each other then.
Yeah. I can't help it. Like, that's one of them things that we work with Mission 22, Creative Vets, a lot of stuff like that. Like, I love that stuff. I'm a basket case anyway. Like, my mental health is not ever well, but it's better than it used
We're always
to be.
healing. We're
So-
always
I'm never sane.
I'm
but
never, yeah.
It's all right.
I'm just not as fucked up as I used to be.
That's good.
Like,
That's
but
what we like to call progress.
yeah.
Forward motion.
Yeah, but I love anything. So whenever they told us about when Vaden told us about the thing Sunday, I was like, okay, cool.
He had the coolest name ever, Vaden.
Vaden?
Like, as soon as he
Vaden?
said that, I was like, that sounds like a great villain's name in Star
Vaden.
Wars. Like,
That's
it's like,
sick, man.
like Vader's other son.
His stepbrother.
Yeah, it's Vaden.
Have y'all ever met Vaden? Have you ever met Vaden?
I don't think so.
Vaden is like this Nashville mobster. He's really not, but he is. Like, he's like a gatekeeper for people. Like, he can introduce you to damn near anybody.
Yeah, I know those folks.
Yeah, but it's like, what does he do?
When you
I
said
don't know.
mobster, I thought like like the Nashville of Sopranos. You know what I'm saying? Like, if
That's kind of what he is. I still don't know what the fuck he
Mostly
does.
minus the killing.
what?
Yeah.
Hopefully minus the killing.
Probably not. Probably not. He seems like, I'm pretty sure he drops like bombs on people. I think he works for the CIA. I'm pretty sure that's what he does. I think he's like a drone
Jared's
pilot.
convinced our neighbor works for the CIA.
Really?
Yeah, because he saw it in an episode of Blacklist.
I love that show, Blacklist.
I've never watched that
Oh
show.
my God, dude, it's amazing. But anyways, yeah, my neighbor looks just like the CIA.
CIA.
How do you say those three letters? CIA agent.
I promise you, if that's what you're worried about, like them picking that up on this show, I would have already been in Guantanamo Bay.
I'll tell you something.
I talk about the worst shit on this show. I have exposed every like conspiracy theory, everything. Like I think that there are reptile people, aliens everywhere. I really don't think there's reptile people. I think there's aliens. But yeah,
I'll tell you a story about my other neighbor. He's a dentist.
Okay.
And last week, he got arrested for dealing drugs.
What?
Out of his house. And y'all, I tell you what, I had no idea he was
He's a
even a
dentist?
dentist.
He sounds like a cool ass.
Sounds like the most chill
I had no
dentist.
idea he was a dentist.
I would have gone to him.
That's not true, by the way.
That's funny.
But well, now your dentist sucks. I was fixing ass first practice.
No, we have the
Man.
best dentist,
We have,
actually.
yeah, we do.
Oh,
Like,
shit.
shout out.
Yeah.
Dentist
Beam
office.
Smile Design.
Thanks.
That guy needs to sponsor the show now.
Logo
We're always
pops up.
looking for that.
Hey, we're here for support, you know.
Oh shit, dude. No, it was definitely good to see you play on Sunday too. Like, it's always nostalgic, or I don't know if I can talk right now.
CIA
But
agent.
I love seeing you play, and I love hearing you talk and tell some of your stories that you were telling the other day. Because like me, every time I come up here, I still get the fanboy sometimes, and I'm still a fanboy over you. Like
That's- all right, I'll take that.
Yeah, I still, even though like you're my buddy, I still get the fanboy. Like the other day, I still like rub shit in my baby mama's face sometimes.
Yeah.
Like,
Like
we
how
have
Post Malone left you
That
with
was
the
the
Barbie.
first thing you had him do. You were like, hey.
I did it the other day.
Did you?
I did it on Sunday. Whenever you played 18 days on Sunday, I
Yeah.
FaceTimed that bitch.
Yep.
And I said, guess what I'm doing?
What's up, girl? What
I think you stopped at TikTok so you could record a video for you, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I love
I
it.
was like, you remember all that bitching you used to do? Bet you didn't, bitch. It's going to be 18 years till you ever see me again.
That's so weird. That song's not. It's for the military. They sort of adopted it, but honestly, it is literally about Buford Pusser.
Who the hell is Buford Pusser?
You don't know who Buford Pusser is?
Uh-uh.
Have you ever seen the movie Walking Tall with The
Yeah,
Rock?
yeah.
That's his character.
Oh, no shit.
The Rock played his character. He was a
That's
sheriff.
the remake too, right?
Uh-huh. It's a remake from like the 70s, I think, or something. But Buford Pusser was a sheriff in Adamsville, Tennessee. And he was known to either, I don't know if it was have ties with the mob, or the mob was trying to run through things through his town, and he was like, not happening. But he was the one that said, walk tall and carry a big stick. So this is a true story. One evening, Buford Pusser and his wife were coming back from Selmer, Tennessee, and these two cars came up beside them and started shooting inside the car and ran them off the road. They had a horrible accident. His wife actually died in the car wreck.
Whoa.
And he had stayed in the hospital for a few weeks. And the day he got out of the hospital, he came home and he looked at himself in the mirror, and his face was mangled from the wreck. I mean, stitches and bandages and gauze. And that was the first line of that song is what he said to himself. He said, it's been 18 days since I had to look at myself. And that's where that line, the military sort of adopted it as their own because they have 18-day leaves. And so I always think it's cool that military can have it. I support the military all day long. I've been to different countries. I've been all over the world singing for those guys. I love them. But really, that's where that line comes from Sheriff Buford Pusser.
That is cool. I had no idea.
Ain't that crazy, man?
That's crazy.
So I sort of giggle every time I say, this song's called 18 Days, and everybody's like, woo, and I'm like, it's for you, Buford. It's like,
I also giggle every time you tell the story behind Addicted.
oh, well.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Yeah,
you don't seem petty about that at all.
Well,
No,
no.
actually, I really, honestly, thank you. Thank you.
She's paid a few mortgages.
Yeah.
Do y'all know the story behind Addicted?
No, it sounds like it's Rebecca's fault though.
Oh,
Yeah.
Why don't you tell the girls in this room the
Well,
story
she was a
behind?
participant, but yeah, I had a girlfriend at the time, but I also worked at a hospital. I was a phlebotomist, a vampire, if you will.
Okay.
That makes it sound
You
cool.
kind of look like you'd be a vampire, to be honest with you.
But I had to be at work at 4 in the morning and have all the blood work drawn and down by 8 because that's when the doctors come in. And I sang that song to myself for probably a couple of months, really. And then one day the lyrics came to me and I got a notepad and I wrote it down on a notepad. And I was singing this at 5 in the morning in the hospital while everybody's asleep. I'm just walking down the hall carrying my needles like, I'm so addicted. Why is that song stuck in my head? It's an earworm, you know? So finally I wrote it down, just the lyrics, and I remembered the melody. A few weeks later, we're up in 747 Studios with Skid Mills, Jason and I, and we had spent a few hours trying to come up with songs, and they just weren't there. And at the end of the evening, we were about to drive back home to Corinth, which is a 2-hour drive from Memphis. So it's probably 10 o'clock, and I'll be at home by midnight, but I got to be up at 4, So that's how we did it for a while, But so at the end of the night, Skid's like, well, you guys come back tomorrow, and maybe we'll try some more, And then, my partner ended up saying, Jared, tell him about that song that you've been singing to me and you just don't know what it is, da-da-da. So I'm like, okay, you mean that one? And he's like, yeah. So I'm like, I'm so addicted to, and Skid just looks at me with his hands open and his mouth dropped. And he goes, where's that been? We've been here for 3 hours and you bring that up last? So we, ended up coming back and writing Addicted. And I remember the first time we all listened to it in the studio just with the producer, and then our mouths were dropped. Because I literally looked at Skid and was like, that's us? Like I had to question him because it just sounded amazing. And, that's just basically how it was written. It just came out of nowhere. Sometimes the universe does you favors, And so do ex-girlfriends.
The song's about a blowjob.
And it blew the fuck up.
He went the fucking long way there.
I did.
He went the fucking long way.
Yeah.
Wow, what a
Songs
fucking
about a
story.
BJ.
That's
But
not
I
what I
love
was.
that.
That's not what I was going for.
What a sto- I had
So
no
when he got
idea.
on stage the other day at the Veterans thing, he said, "This song's about a blowjob." I don't know if y'all know that. And every Marine and everyone else that was in there for the Green Beret event, they asked him to come play. They were like, "Fuck yeah!" And all their wives and girlfriends were like, "Fuck yeah!" There were some gnarly bitches in there.
I think I
the other
said,
day.
if you don't know it, we're all going to learn the words to it today.
Yeah.
All right, wait, so I have a question. So what year did that song come out? What year did you put it?
2008.
So I was 8 years old. So and I'm
Shut the fuck up.
So was
and
our
I'm
drummer.
20.
I
I'm
can't tell you.
24.
I can't tell you how many times I've had to apologize to parents. Sorry, mom.
Well, dude, because Slipknot was like,
One of my
I
favorite
went
bands.
from such a little,
Iowa, yeah.
little bit. I was listening to just like Avenged Sevenfold and Slipknot were my 2 first loves.
I love it.
But on the radio, I heard that song for the first time, like right when it came out in Detroit. 101.1, the riff is.
Ooh, you talking about Meltdown?
Yo,
Oh,
come
my
on
boy,
now,
I
come
love
on now,
Meltdown.
man, come on now, Dave and Chuck the Freak.
Dude, amazing.
Yeah, man, that's home, baby. That's
That's
home.
cool, man.
But yeah, I had no idea that was the backstory behind that, or like
There's
that's how it
Yeah,
came about.
There's a lot of songs that once you look back, you're like, that was not. I should not have been singing that at 8. That's just
Oh well, yeah. There's a lot of things. Oh
inappropriate.
my, what's that? Theory of a Dead Man.
Oh, yeah. That was one of my favorite, too. Toad. We love Toad.
What was they had a song?
Bad Girlfriend?
I didn't.
Yeah, she's a bad, bad girlfriend.
Oh my God, I was
My
it was
girlfriend's a dick magnet. Yep.
Yeah, I was singing that shit when I was like
We
9.
were all disgusting ass kids.
Oh,
Are you
my
singing the
God.
correct lyrics is the question. Like,
Oh, I absolutely.
lyrics correct.
Oh, I was fucking up lyrics
Yeah.
left and right.
It was
I thought-
really
Kind of.
weird for Addicted. Like, I'm so addicted to all the things you do when you're going down on me in between the sheets. And the label was like, no, we can't say that on radio. We need to have a cleaner version. And I'm like, when you're rolling around with me in between the sheets, which insinuates sex rather than just a BJ. But they're like, yeah, that's it. And so they went with the clean version of When You're Rolling Around With Me in Between the Sheets instead of Going Down on Me. And I'm like, dude, that's the same thing to me.
Don't I know it as When You're Going Down on Me in the Sheets, though?
Yeah, that was the explicit version. But when the radio played it, like with Taylor Swift songs, it was Rolling Around With Me.
Taylor Swift and Saving Abel. Radio at the same time.
Come on.
Could've happened.
God. I meant when it crossed over. I meant when it crossed over.
Still not on the radio.
That was Saving Abel. Now coming up, Taylor Swift.
There's a lot of them.
She's a dick magnet.
That's hilarious.
Gonna write a song about it.
Yeah, I hate Taylor Swift.
Do you really?
Oh my God, I dislike
Hey,
her
I
so
respect.
much.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. There's so many bands, artists like that I'm not like a fan of.
Yeah.
But I respect the hustle, and she pays her crew like a motherfucker.
Well, when you make $1 trillion, it's easy to pay $1 billion.
But not every artist is like that though. Not everyone's like that.
Yeah, well, I can always respect somebody that hustles their ass off. Like there's a lot of people that want to do this show to do like the country rap shit, and I hate country rap. There's nothing more that I dislike in music than country rap. But there's some that I've met that are called the Lax. I don't know if y'all know who
those
they are.
guys.
Okay,
They're awesome.
Never heard
one
of
of
them.
the
Check 'em out.
coolest conversations I've ever had was about 5 or 6 years ago, or about 4 years ago when I first started this. I ran into them at a concert, and they one of them asked me like, "Hey, do you like what we did or whatever?" And I was like, I'm just so honest. Like sometimes it gets me in trouble, right? And I was like, man, it's just not my cup of tea. But y'all just melted faces. Like the crowd loved y'all. It's like everybody's just having so much fun listening to y'all or whatever. Dude gave me the coolest response I've ever heard from an artist. He said, man, if I could sing classic country music, I would, but I can't. He said, if I could sing modern country, I would. He said, I can't. So I rap. This is how I get my message out. This is how I get my stuff out. And I was like, you know what? That's cool. I can respect the shit out of that. And
Yeah, it is.
I can, yeah.
I can respect that. But like, I can respect your hustle and stuff, but I'm just not going to listen to a bunch of that shit.
Hey, but I can relate though, because it's like with who I am as a musician, I don't necessarily mesh in with a lot of the people that some people are looking for. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, if God built me to be that way, then I would be doing that. But it's like I can't help that. I just am who I am.
But you're probably coming in at the perfect time with like the hard, grungy rock stuff getting intertwined with country right now. You're probably like a fuck.
Here's the deal.
You're perfect.
Here's the deal. Country music stars want to be rock stars.
Oh, absolutely.
And then most of the time, rock stars want to be country stars. Truthfully.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, there's always been a crossover there. I don't know why people are acting like, even when Travis Tritt, Travis Tritt's one of my all-time favorites.
Mine too.
He was doing southern rock stuff and intertwining it with country, and people probably back then in the 90s were like, this isn't country music.
Yeah. Dude, he can write a ballad like no one else.
He's got my favorite all-time song.
All time.
Would Drift Off the Dream.
Oh,
Drift Off the Dream is my all-time favorite song. That's
I like to tell me I was dreaming.
Oh, that's a great song
I
too.
love that
oh,
too, man.
Shit.
I
I'll
gotta
get
listen
drunk
to
as
it.
shit.
Talking about some therapy.
Jared, I have a question for you. I've noticed alt country, or not alt country, alt rock coming back hard, but it's falling under the country genre. Have you noticed that?
I think country's more popular than rock right now.
Well,
And I
why-
think
why don't
rock,
we just
and I
have
think
our early
rock's making a
2000s
comeback
Yeah.
because of nostalgia.
There's more money in it. I think
Definitely more
I think that's why everybody's switching over to country.
Yeah, country radio and country label system is an entirely different thing
It
on its
prints
own.
money.
There's no other system that works in that way, and so it's fiscally it's an entirely different thing. So people make different money there.
If you look at every other genre and you look at their concert sales and you look at their stuff, they're not doing shit. There's a reason why, I like Post Malone. I like all those fuckers. Don't get me wrong, but there's a reason why people are coming to country music right now. It ain't a mistake.
Well, country radio exists, and most other
Rock.
genres and things
It's hard.
they don't exist in the
Yeah.
same way.
Country's cool too.
Yeah.
I
That's-
love country. I mean, I think
Well,
that's
you
where
get-
everybody gets along, in
Yeah.
my opinion. You know, it's
Well,
like,
you see how MGK he went into the like pop punk, like he came out with that like sellout record, And it was very and then now does a collab with Jelly Roll. It's more, it's, you know, he's trying to hop in on the country thing, and then there's metal bands like
Lakeview's disgusting.
I was just about to say shout out to the homies in Lakeview and also the homies in Gideon. They are a great metal band, and they're from, you're familiar?
Yeah,
Man,
they were,
but I love the name.
They were on the song with Lakeview, right?
yeah, put your money where your mouth is. Yeah. Jake Smelly showed me some of their new shit, and it's like the really heavy like Gideon style, but it's got like steel pedal and like fiddle or like weird like harmonica, like just like some country shit they're adding in there. So you're seeing how like the two genres are starting to
Blend.
yeah, and I got sucked into it because my friends from the metal world were going to the country world and playing like themselves.
I can't believe we haven't said this guy's name yet because regardless of what y'all think, I am the biggest Hardy fan.
Dude, come on, dude.
He did it so well, is what I'm saying. Though. Like he literally grew up 3 hours from me. My drummer went to school with him.
Yeah.
That's
so like
dream gig status too.
One of his favorite bands, Puddle of Mud. You know, and what song did he
Puddle of
release?
Mud.
Psycho.
Puddle of
Same.
Mud,
You know what I'm
man.
saying?
Oh my Lord.
Control
but
is one of my favorite songs.
Saving Abel tried to do that stuff, country, switch it over,
Yeah,
back
that
and
third
forth
record.
on our third record, but didn't nobody do it like Hardy's been doing it, man. That Mockingbird, the
It feels
Crow.
very
Oh, that album is disgusting good.
It's amazing. Even dude, that Jim Bob off his new album.
Jim Bob
Dude,
fucks. Jim Bob fucks hard.
Dude, the guitar riff is the hook in that song.
Yeah,
and like I
it
can't
is.
live without it, dude.
Yep.
It's amazing.
It is so good. And what kind of pisses me off about folks is people want to act like it's a new thing for like these folks to be coming around. Like Ray Charles, all these folks back in the day, everybody wanted to come to country music.
Yeah.
It's the storytelling. It's the people.
Yeah.
It's just like people love country music. It's for the
We can relate to it better.
yeah. It's real life.
It's more real life.
It's
exactly.
soulful. as
Yeah,
well.
yeah. It's also too like I was thinking about this other day. It's the kind of songs you can sing about and stuff you can talk about where you're not just talking about money, cars, and clothes.
Yes.
Like you're being real. You can sing about whatever the fuck you want to over here, and you ain't gotta.
You're not talking
putting-
about beer
you're
and
not putting a
trucks.
box.
Yeah.
You're not putting a box here. You can do whatever the fuck you want to.
As long as you got a beer in your hand and sing about a truck, you're fine.
Yeah, under the stars, the birds and the
Thinking about this the
bees.
other day, I was riding in the car and I was listening to a female song, and it was a breakup song essentially, and she was talking about how screwed up her life was because of this breakup. And I thought, when did we transition from like 1950s women singing and they only sang about love and happiness to now it's acceptable for us to sing about the things that actually bother us, for women especially. And that's really cool that we've been able to get there. And country music is the leader in that.
I like seeing the women now that are like Allie Colleen.
I was just thinking about
Yeah, like
that.
that are like this anybody that's doing like this outlaw woman shit. That's my favorite thing that women
Casey
are doing.
Musgrave.
Yeah, to where like
Love Casey.
to where it's not just singing about heartbreak and sad shit. It's like, oh, I'm a bad bitch now.
Yeah.
Like I'm finna fuck your shit up.
Ella Langley.
Ella Langley is an animal.
Her band too is her guitarist. Noah Henson from Brantley Gilbert was just telling me
That
about
was
him.
We love him.
He's about Noah's. Me and him are like this. Man,
Sweet.
he's my boy.
We
He's
would
my
match.
boy. Yeah, right. You're right.
When I first saw him, I was like, this girl needs to play drums with you. Like,
I got one of those guys.
He's got Dave's
I
the
know
man,
this is
bro.
bad. I know that, but all I could think about was like, I want to see this.
Still can't.
That's the first thing.
I still
walked
can't get
in,
over
he's
the
like, I know
Dave
you're
story,
drummer.
dude. I still can't get over the Dave story, and Dave, I'll talk to you about that if you're watching this. But yeah, no, her guitarist, he's like this jacked dude, and he used to play for Scott Stapp, and
Cypher down.
and dude, he's like, we played a couple festivals together over the summer, and I watched, dude, and he just, and I'm just like, oh my
awesome
god, and he's like bald, ripped, tatted. I'm like, yeah.
Dreads, like
Dude.
down to his butt.
Oh, are you talking about Noah?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, Noah's got. Oh, dude, he's another story, dude. When I met him, we did a one-off on the Nickelback tour.
Yeah.
And the first time I met him, man, he was just open arms. Just,
Yeah.
what's up? What's going on?
Absolutely.
And
I love
we
songs
hit
like
it
that.
off, and then after that, I've had like dinner with his family a handful of times, and we'll jam for like 4 hours in the studio.
You went
and-
upstairs. to the
Oh,
studio.
dude, yeah,
it's a cool
we'll
little spot,
just
ain't it?
we'll just go hard and just record for 4 hours, and then go back downstairs and go chill and listen to it. And we're like, dude,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Tell them about your drum set you just got.
Dude, SJ, shout out to SJC, man. They're insane. Mike crushed it. But yeah, so basically, it's like I come from the metal world, and it's kind of me being so new to the country scene. You know what I mean? It's like I just walked into it, just kind of, like I moved here with people that I barely knew. It was just the story behind that. So long it was a God thing, and I slept on a couch for 3 months, and then just started going at it and played with Austin for the last 2 years. And also David Morris. Shout out David Morris. But anyway, so the kit's kind of like a blend of there's like Slipknot flyers and Avenged Sevenfold and the Revs on it, and Taylor Hawkins and Buddy Rich and Detroit stuff, like Detroit memorabilia, and then like family pictures. It's got like my dad on it from like, cause my dad's a drummer too.
Oh, sweet.
So like he wanted to be Tommy Lee back in the day so badly. And there's like band pics of them and like assless chaps and like leather and bushy ass
As
hair.
it should be.
And I have that on the floor, Tom. Then like there's Willie Nelson on the side and Johnny Cash for like body cutouts on the side of the kick. And then it's like birch racks, mahogany
So
floors.
this is all on your drum
Yeah,
set.
yeah.
It's like a mosaic.
It's every show kind of. I have my mom on it and my brother. A couple pictures of me and my dad playing behind like my first kit when I was like
That's
2.
sweet, man. I like stuff like that.
It's the pretty
So it's like a salute to country, like, hey, I'm new here and I respect the shit out of everybody. So like, this is a tribute to you. And then it's like, from the world I came from, I'll always be a metalhead. I'll always like include that, and just like, even if I'm playing just Boots and Cats, like you'll always know that like just I put in that energy. And yeah, so the kit is just phenomenal. They delivered it. Mike delivered it with like a little camera team. They crushed it, and it was at can't think of the name of the festival. It was in Carolina Country Music Fest. They brought the kit out, unboxed it, cried, set it up. We had Dorothea, and shout out Dorothea. She's the grandma drummer, the godmother, if you will, of drumming.
Yeah.
Phenomenal drummer, amazing woman, also from Michigan. She came out, sat in for a song. It was so cool. Yeah, and then
Well, what a happy
Yeah,
moment,
crazy.
though, man.
Crazy, dude.
Yeah, I love
Crazy.
moments like that. I'm such a sap. I'm like, I want to see. You got a video?
crazy, man. And they made it.
crybaby. I
They
cried
made it
when I
in
saw
like
it.
it was like a 3-month process too. Like I went through all like old family photos and everything, and like looked up a bunch of flyers and like got everything together in like a couple days, sent it out, and the whole SJC team, they crushed it so quick.
I want to know what you can add to it.
Say what?
Can you add to it later? Like if you start a family.
Dude, if I added another kick, that's like a dream of mine, is to have like a gig to where I can have like two bass drums. You know what I'm saying? And then I have the
That's what
family that I
Dave
have.
wanted to do.
Yeah, that's
He
my
wanted
dream.
to, yeah.
It's the dream, and I'm not gonna do it until I'm like it's appropriate. I'm not gonna pull up being a 2 or 4 or something. I got 2 bass drums.
Tom.
Yeah, right.
Can you climb up to the top and tighten that?
A Ray Luzier setup.
Yeah.
Is it true that if you're metal, that it's easier to transition into country drumming?
I feel like it just depends on the player, because there's some metal drummers that have never like been outside the box. They never pushed themselves. That also just comes with just like being open to learning.
Yeah.
And just like, you know what I mean? Because one way or another, it doesn't matter like how good your chops are, like how good your pocket is. You got to understand how to serve a song.
Yeah, the structure.
You know what I mean? The structure, like, doesn't matter. Like,
Verse, chorus.
and just knowing what textures and dynamics come with that. You know what I mean? And like for me, I'm not gonna say it was easy. You know what I mean? Even if I've been playing drums for over 22 years, like it was a challenge.
He could fucking play whatever.
Sure, it was,
Oh,
but it was a challenge. You know what I mean? I was like, okay,
Like,
like
Right.
Austin,
There you
so-
go.
let's say like I'm trying to just think of shuffle songs.
Do you find yourself adding a little, like when you're playing a Johnny Cash song, or what? Do you find yourself the metal?
Oh yeah.
Adding, yeah, that's what we would do. Metal.
Way too much, if you will, because it's
Yeah.
like anytime I'm playing anything like that, it's like Broadway.
It's
like,
perfect. It's
Broadway
perfect
shows.
amount.
And
I hate humble people. See, this right here is why the good Lord. This why the good Lord didn't give me a real talent. Because y'all's humbleness pisses me off. Because if I could do what y'all do,
it'd be all over.
it's over with.
It'd be all
It is
over
over with. No, okay, so we all have like those people that overdo it and like just put too much in it, and it's like it takes away from the song or it takes away from whatever, and it's like you're ruining it. You're just stepping on it.
Right.
Okay. Then you got those certain people that just put the chef's kiss on it.
Right. It's like we don't need double bass in my heart.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He puts the fucking chef's kiss on it.
Sprinkles of salt.
I call it a little bit of flour.
But yeah, so but to answer your question though, it just depends on the person.
Yeah.
Depends on the player.
I had been told that, but I don't know anything about drumming. So
Yeah,
I
man.
had to ask.
Hey, boots and cats.
Yeah,
Dude, that's paying the bills right there. Boots and cats, man. Boots and cats. That's how you pay the bills, man.
Yeah, I'm telling you, there's just some, like drummers, y'all are unique anyway. I think we all can agree that there's this.
Drummers are fucking weird.
They're weird. They're weird. I mean, you look at you.
Literally.
They're fun in a small
First time I
package.
saw you, there's this movie, and I'm not even old enough to have seen it, so I know you fucking know. It's called Powder.
Oh my God!
That was such a good
Have you ever
movie.
seen
The
it?
albino kid.
That
Yeah.
was
I've
so
seen a
good.
lot of movies.
I thought
I've
you had
never seen that.
First
fucking
time I
movie.
saw you, I was like, oh shit, is he
Wait,
dying?
you really
I thought you had a condition.
Google
Oh,
it.
you're like, oh, Make-A-Wish brought him out.
Yeah.
That's nice.
That's what I thought you was better for. I was gonna take a picture like with you, and I was gonna be like, I'm just helping this Make-A-Wish out.
This is little Timmy.
This is
Little Timmy's got about 2 months left.
I'm trying to find the movie.
Oh yeah, I know Powder.
You seen the movie Powder?
Everyone's seen
Yeah.
this
Yeah, I'm trying to find it so I can show you.
You haven't seen
I know it. Yeah,
saw
no,
it.
it's great.
it? Oh, it's great. Oh, you've seen it too.
It's
All
so
right.
good.
Have you seen it? Have you
Please-
seen Powder?
Please don't beat my. Have you ever seen it?
This is gonna be an age thing, though.
Please don't beat my ass when you see this.
Stop it. Oh my God. Just put a throat tap.
Yeah, just put a throat tat on him.
And yeah, in a hat. And that's me, dude. And
I was like, what the fuck is wrong?
that's
with this
fucking
guy?
great.
And then he got up there.
What's wrong with this?
Well, first off, like you're the superest, nicest guy ever.
Thanks,
by the
man.
way.
And so was Powder.
Yeah.
Josh said,
I am a pale
"Powder
ass
is wrong."
motherfucker too.
But also, we all know I'm a dickhead, so I'm always gonna look at somebody.
Yeah, you say that though, but you have your moments and you're funny and it's whatnot.
You're the
but like,
sweetest guy ever.
you're totally the kindest.
You're the
human.
sweetest
Yeah,
fucking
I
guy.
try to be.
Make my blood
Hey, the
sugar.
sweetest
I don't
people
like
need
you.
to have a little
Y'all
bit of
all
tang.
have the benefit of me liking you.
Listen,
Glad I'm on your good
people will
side.
say
Good
that about
point.
me.
Good
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
That's
If-
valid.
If I don't like you,
I've seen
Same.
you not like somebody.
I've seen you.
Yeah.
I've
I've seen you not like somebody.
I've seen those videos. Yeah.
yeah, I don't like it. I'll tell you a funny story. This is how quick I can become a cunt. I love this one right here, the one sitting on the couch. It's like my little sister right there, and that's her mom right there.
Yeah, that's Mama over there.
We were at a rooftop bar last year,
Oh my gosh.
and like I'm a, like I don't fuck around with people I love. Like I don't like. There was this dude, this weirdo, and somebody got like this in this VIP area or whatever, and there was this guy, and he was videoing her and like 2 other girls that was with us, and he was like filming like from underneath, and they had skirts on, and somebody pointed it out to me, and I went over to him and I was like, "Give me your phone."
Yeah.
And
100%.
and he was like, "No," and I was like, "Okay, don't give me your phone, but show me like where you were just recording them." And he went to go show us or whatever, and he was like fumbling around. He wouldn't really show us or whatever. I snatched his phone and threw it off the fucking roof.
I think
And
he
then-
had it coming to him.
Yeah,
that's right there.
But then he snatched Mom's phone and threw her phone off the roof.
What?
And it took fucking everybody.
Yeah.
Zicky went off.
Oh my
I
God.
was about to kill a foreigner.
Oh
I was,
my
boy,
God.
I'm telling you, I about caught a hate crime.
Dude, you're like the Batman of Nashville, bro.
Oh God.
You're serving
Well,
justice.
there's this thing, and it's gonna get me in trouble one day.
I would have thrown hands.
It was probably this is gonna get me in prison one day. But there's something I really like. I believe that everybody's supposed to have like a, you know, how like the old like whatever, like knights or like if back in the day you had like a creed or whatever. Like and those creeds like stood for the things like you believed in. Like there was like 4 different patches or whatever.
Right.
Well, like I believe that everybody's still supposed to have like a creed, like the stuff that you really believe in, like the stuff you'll die on the hill for.
Absolutely.
Like stuff that like mafia people or like cowboys and shit used to believe in. It's like stuff that I do. Like you're still supposed to like show respect to get respect.
Yeah.
There's just certain things that like you don't do. Yeah. And I still think that in such a fucked up world, you're still supposed to be respectful. You're still supposed to say yes ma'am, no ma'am, yes
Or at least
sir,
attempt
no
to.
sir.
That is not very common now.
Yeah, well like or even like when you see somebody doing something wrong, like you're supposed to make it right. You're not supposed to wait around on somebody else to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I can't stand when I see like somebody being a fucking dick to a woman or even like another dude. There's a lot of these pricks up here that are like ugly to the homeless people up here. Like, am I fitting to give money to the homeless? No. So I don't want to sound like I'm the nice guy.
But I'm Blizzy or something.
But I'm not.
You don't go out of your way to poke at them.
Yeah, but I'm not for good. But if I see somebody doing it, I'm finna walk up to him
why
and
don't
hey,
you
you
leave
can
him
shut the
alone?
fuck up. Like,
Yeah.
that dude's
Yeah.
had a hard life, or you don't know why he's there. Like, leave him the fuck alone.
Like, don't judge
Right.
somebody's story by the chapter you walked in on.
Yeah,
you
don't-
have no idea.
No, you don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like,
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't like bullies in high school, and when I meet like arrogant people like that who care more about themselves than others in the ways you're supposed to, or
Yeah.
not supposed to, like it triggers me honestly.
It triggers
and
me
sometimes
too.
I have to walk away because like I'm not an MMA fighter, but I'll act like one if you're bullying somebody, you know, and like I probably shouldn't do that, you know, but thank God all my friends are huge. But it's like, thank you, Big Vinny. Thank you, Jared Blake. But I mean, I go to schools now. I work with one of the biggest anti-bullying campaigns in America. It's called Bikers Against Bullies, and we go to schools and we talk to kids about how to deal with bullies, or even choices and consequences, because good choices lead to good consequences. Like, consequence is not necessarily a bad thing, but like, because we all know how well the DARE program worked for us, right? Basically, like they came to school and they're like, "You want to see what cocaine looks like? It's right here."
I'll let that fucking tiger down.
So yeah, we sort of take the approach of choices and consequences, but like arrogant people like that, like I have such a hard time hanging around them. Like I literally don't have those type of people in my life.
I can't.
Yeah.
But I feel like you're supposed to bully the bully.
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
I love whenever I see someone picking on someone else, I will roast that. And I'm very sweet, very loving. I'm not a fighter, but I got that dog in me to where it's like as soon as I see you fucking with someone that you don't need to be fucking with, I'm gonna start fucking with you.
so
And I ain't got no eyebrows. I don't give a fuck.
you look like a fucking girl. Yeah, like I said, powder. I wouldn't fuck with you. Don't think it's wrong. School shooter. That's it. Columbine. Every time I like you. If you walked into Live Oak
You're
tonight,
fucked up.
If you walked into Live Oak tonight and you had a trench coat, I'm going out the back.
Trench coat with a backpack on. It's all
I'm
over.
out of there. Not a fucking chance am I sticking around. I'm not telling anybody.
Oh, that's so funny.
I'm getting the fuck out of the way. No, so like I had a bully growing up, and she was there. So it's funny that she's here now, and we're talking about this. So like 2 Christmases ago, my school bully, like high school bully, was at the SEC party that we went to when Georgia lost. And he was there with a dude, or I was there with a dude, and this guy had picked on us crazy in high school. So fucking bad. He was such a cunt.
Yeah.
And my buddy used to be really fat back in the day, like in high school. Like he was a nerd, but he's the nicest person ever. Cobley, I love you to death, you fat bastard. He's super skinny now. But he was like, all growing up, he was like 300 pounds. Now he's about 180. He teaches MMA to kids. And
Probably because of that fucker that bullied him.
well, no, he's still a pussy. But he's so sweet. Like he's the sweetest soul you'll ever meet in your life. But he started losing weight about 5 or 6 years ago because he was unhealthy. And when he got down to about 200, 220, he started doing MMA. And he doesn't really compete or anything. He just does it to lose weight and stay fit.
Kind of like yoga,
Yeah. So, but when he got to a point, he started teaching kids, and he started doing it to help those kids not get bullied. And also, he does like this faith program too.
Yeah.
So it's a beautiful thing that he does. It's wonderful. Well, we got to this party, and our school bully was there, and he's still a fucking cunt. All these years later,
So sad.
still
On fire.
a fucking asshole. All these years later. Well, we're sitting there, we're drinking, hanging out with some of our friends, and you can hear this dude. He's acting like we're still in high school, like all this shit later. And my buddy, who has gone through all this transformation in his life and everything, he's talking to me, and he's like, "Man, I've lost all this weight. I'm doing all this shit now, and this dude is literally making me feel as low as he used to."
It's habitual behavior,
Yeah, like I really feel that bad, and I got tired of it. And he said one wrong thing.
Did you throw his phone
I
on the
beat
balcony
the
too?
fuck out of this dude.
2 Christmases ago?
Yeah, like I.
That was 2 years ago.
Was it 3?
3?
3? But like my thing is like nobody stood up to this dude.
Yeah.
So he thought that for that long time period, like for that many years, that he still had the right to act that way to people, that he could still make people still feel that way. And in that moment, I still remember thinking, this dude still thinks that it's okay to make people feel
High
bad
school was
about
the
themselves.
greatest years of his life.
Yeah, and I was like, nah, he gonna find out that this ain't high school no more, and to still be putting people down and trying to make people feel that way. I ain't like I served or anything like that, but like I have a servant's heart.
Yeah.
Like I know I got that about me, and it's like I don't want to be that. I don't want people to fucking feel down like that. So if you don't bully the bully, they're gonna keep bullying.
Yep.
See,
Like, you got to put them in their
see,
place at some point in time.
Good for you.
those bullies that we're talking about, the one that still bullies people. Like in the past 5 years of my life, I sort of come from an empath's heart because that's what I am. My whole life I've been taken advantage of, and I never knew why. Girls would always cheat on me, and then I'm like, well, I'll take you back. Come on, let's go see Rob Thomas. And I never understood the power that empathy has, or what I could use it for. And I'm to the point in my life now when we're talking about those bullies, you got to bully the bullies. My heart immediately goes to hurt people.
Yeah.
And even those bullies who we don't like the reason they treat other folks that way is because they haven't looked at the shadow parts of themselves, the things they're afraid of, they're scared of, guilty of, and they haven't sat down with those things and healed with them. So for the rest of their life, they're going to do the same habitual behavior that they've done from the beginning,
Yeah.
And I consider it's a passion of mine now, that's the folks that I want to talk to when I'm on stage. That's the songs that I want to write about to remind folks that like you're worthy of a happy and valuable life, and you don't have to go around making other people feel bad because you do. Like I have such ADD brain, man. It's like I hate bullies, but I think they need a hug. It's like I can't ever make up my mind. But you can't change a person.
I think you're right. I do. I think that there's a point that they do need that. But
Maybe when you kicked his butt, maybe when you kicked his ass, he was like, damn, I may need to rethink a lot of things in my life, Like
You flipped his world upside down.
I need to think about some things.
Someone beat
okay,
my ass?
It's tough love though. Like, all right. So I help coach like girls softball team, like my daughter's team.
Mm-hmm.
And some kids, like if I scream at one little girl, she's gonna get it.
Yeah.
But if I scream at the other one, she's gonna break down. She's gonna curl up in a fetal position.
Yeah.
And she's gonna be screwed the rest of practice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like you
it's
messed it
just it's with everybody. Like some people are gonna learn one way, some people are gonna learn another.
True.
Yeah.
Some people you gotta bust their chops for to get me. I'm hard headed as shit.
I was the hard-headed
I
one.
ain't never
Yeah.
learned a lesson in life easy. Like I
Took a lot of whippings,
Listen,
man.
my mom would just say, "Don't do that." I'd be like, "Okay, that's probably."
She was such a good girl.
She said, "Don't drink." I said, "Okay."
I was
Don't do drugs. Okay.
I was the kid that your mom was like, "Hey, keep putting your hand on the stove, you're gonna burn it." I got fucking scars. That shit been burnt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you just gave me the logical explanation on like, hey, why you shouldn't, I was like, oh, okay, I won't do it.
As I'm getting older, I'm trying to be more like that, but I'm still figuring out that I gotta get burned sometimes. But no, that's with bullies or anything like that. Like some of them just ain't ever gonna get it.
Yeah.
Ain't ever gonna get
And
it.
it's sad, you know? It really is.
Well,
but-
and as you get into adulthood, though, it like changes, right? They're
Yeah.
like, oh, obviously I can't beat your ass at the playground, but what can I do to mentally screw with you or to like, there's other ways.
Yeah.
And so you just find it's easier to be strong within yourself because then
Nobody can
it
touch
doesn't,
you.
yeah, they can't.
Nobody can
There's-
touch you.
You're absolutely right. And I was thinking too, like, I feel the same way when it comes to bullies. Like, I want to hug them also. But at what point, especially as adults, now that we're like in us, this is who we are, and narcissism is
Oh, it's rampant.
cultural
It's
problem. It's a
rampant.
huge but are they savable or not? I think they can only save themselves,
Yeah,
obviously.
100%.
But we're kind of taught that they're lost, like they're lost souls. I hate to think that of someone.
I think a narcissist, though, I mean, like textbook, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can only use and learn tools. Like,
Right.
it's not like, so you're bipolar, okay, let's medicate, or you ADHD, let's medicate, or, you're depressed, let's medicate.
Are you just telling them all the medications I'm on? Like, I don't
You're not depressed.
I thought she saw my fucking bag.
But like narcissism, it's not like something you can medicate. So
No.
they have to be willing to get the help and recognize that they need help and get the tools and use the tools.
Which
and you
is
have
so
to,
rare.
and it's almost like addiction, right? Like every day you have to wake up and say, I'm going to use my tools. I'm going to play the tape forward. I'm going to be a better person. But until that happens, like you're just going to like
It's all
spew your
habitual.
narcissism over
And if you
everybody.
think about it, most true narcissists are also addicts or have addictive personalities.
Right.
So
When
the
it's all
personality
insecurity, like at the base of it all, it's insecurity and hurt. And I mean, unfortunately, I think with the rise or like the culture shift, right? Like tech and social media and all of that, there's a rise in a lot of this, like the
Amazing.
mental health stuff.
Well, it's been
and,
normalized to them. You got to think that too. Like, if you don't know it's wrong, you don't know it's wrong.
Right.
Right.
Like, there's a lot of shit. Like for me growing up, I thought, and to this day, is still like stuff that I have to break out of what's being normal. So like, I grew up in a household where certain shit was normalized to me that's not a normal lifestyle, but you don't know that it's not normal. So a lot of the behavior that you learn, like for some of these narcissists, they don't know that it's not okay.
Right, because their parents are probably, not mentally healthy in some capacity, or like the bully, the dad is or mom is bullying them, right? Like it's like generational almost.
Or
And
their avoidance or
Yeah,
whatever else.
right.
But yeah, that was kind of my point, was that if they
some trauma.
is a narcissist someone who just can't recognize that they have something that needs to be
Yeah.
Well, they don't have some
Well-
of them don't have the ability to.
The ones that are extreme, closer to sociopathic.
I mean, they tell you
yeah.
if you ask yourself if you're a narcissist, you're probably not a
But
narcissist, right?
the younger generation is starting to learn these little
I
things,
think
and they
they're-
start saying
yeah.
it, and I'm like, no. Just because you asked it doesn't mean you don't need to self-evaluate.
Oh no, you should fully self-evaluate. We have 3 kids, and every day, every other day, right? Like we just always try to check in, and we always say, like, how do you feel supported? How are these? What are you feeling?
Yeah.
And we're
That's
all
good.
big, like, I mean, everyone's in therapy in our house, and not because things are going on, but because it's just very proactive. and
Yeah,
you
good
need a
for
safe place. And the best thing my mom did when my parents got divorced, I was 8. She put us all in therapy. I mean, minus my like tiny little 2-year-old brother at the time, but I've been in therapy my whole life, and not because something was always going on, but just to always have a safe place. And then I meet Jared, who was like, therapy is like getting high, or therapy is like doing something.
Self-medication.
Self-medication, and I honestly, like, it's so funny. He's not sitting here, but I've never really been drunk. I've never done drugs. I've never smoked a cigarette. I've like was so well behaved. My mom was like, "Be home at 11." I'm like, "Okay," you know.
Says
But
the
I
one
was
that on
also,
tour with Kiss.
I was on tours when I was 15, or I was like going to Vegas at 16, 17, and being like, "I'll see you in 6 days." But she didn't care. I was emancipated, so I had a job. I was paying my bill. I was like just this good kid, and which my 14-year-old hates about me, though, by the way, because she's like, "I will never be you," and I'm like, "I don't want you to be me. I just want you to like clean your room." But it's just so funny because I lived this entire life prior to meeting him. The first time he'd been on a plane was to sign a record deal. And the first time he had sushi was like the third time he'd been to LA. And, you know, at that point had like done.
I'm from Mississippi, just so y'all.
Yeah.
That explains a
Our
lot.
sushi was catfish.
I grew up in Phoenix. So it's,
Just saying.
but it's just so funny. Like the person that's had the therapy since I was 8 didn't do anything, didn't like really ruffle feathers. And then there's this guy who was like balls to the wall the second he was out. How that managed to work out, I still am like, okay.
Have you seen me, bro?
Yeah. 25-year-old you was just like irresistible lead singer.
We know that's not true.
I yelled at him the first time we met because I was running the
You
meet
yelled
and greet.
at him?
Yes, yelled at him. I was running his meet and greet, and it was 300 people to get through in 30 minutes. I was working for Live Nation.
It was at
And
the Buzz Fest.
It was at the Buzz
in
Fest.
Nashville, Tennessee.
I lived in Atlanta. He lived in Mississippi. We both were on tour, and I look over and I'm like, why is it taking so long for these people to get through the line? And there's this dude, and he's like, "Hey, what's your name? Sandy?" "Well, my mama's name's Sandy. Do you spell it Cindy or Cindie?" And I'm like, "Lead singer boy, no one spells it Cindie. Can you please be quiet? Can we please?"
I was just nice to people. I was like, "Oh, hey, I love that Mary Kay person." Like, this is Michael Kors. I'm like, either way, you're beautiful. How you doing?
My favorite color, like just talking. And I was like, "Do you know 30 minutes for 300 people, dude? Just be quiet."
I don't know which one of y'all's wrong in that situation.
It's like I've never been tapped on the shoulder with a Sharpie that many times in my life.
So then he followed me around for 2 days, and he was like, I'd ask for water, and he'd bring me 2. I'm not even to him, just in earshot. And then I'd ask for like
Damn
gum
right I
from
did.
someone. He brought me a pack, and I'm like,
Doesn't sit too loud
I've
like
dated
stalking.
you. I have already dated you. I'm not dating you again. He's like, we'll see about that. The first time he met my mom, he told her that he was going to marry me, and we were going to have
I
babies.
said,
and
I'm going to marry your daughter, and she's going to have my babies. And her mom goes, "You got the wrong person for that."
laughed at him.
Laughed about her. And I was
So
like,
every anniversary,
what does that mean?
every anniversary, he's like, "How's that crow?" And I'm like,
This again proves my theory when it comes to men. When a man decides he wants a woman, absolutely nothing stops that man from getting that woman accept her.
Well,
Except her.
I've heard a couple tell me he'll know. He'll throw a roadblock in that shit real quick.
Throw a wrench in
Hey,
gears
they
real
can
fast.
they can make that theory not happen.
The girl can stop it, but
Hey, they're right, yeah.
stop it.
Oh,
You know what was funny is I was dating all the very serious guys, like the very serious artists, or the like guy that like, I don't know,
Rigid?
just serious, just like
Wow.
anything.
They
light.
didn't always think farts were funny. I always think farts.
Farts are hilarious.
all the time.
Okay, I'm gonna-
Wearing
I
shirt.
wouldn't. Okay,
If
I
you don't
wouldn't
think a
go
fart's
that
funny,
far.
get
I
over
wouldn't go
yourself.
that far.
Don't matter.
Start
But
talking about farts,
we
everybody
did
just
stand
freaks
back
out.
and laugh. It was a Brett Michaels show, and we did sit back and we were giggling together about like really just like, I don't know.
He had those girls on the show, the Brett Michaels show. Where
Yeah.
It's the first
the
episode
Rock
of
of
Rock
Love.
of Love tour.
This is stupid as fucking.
Okay, well, listen, there was a hurricane that had come through Louisville, and we had canceled the show, and Saving Abel and Theory and Brett were
You're
there.
the dead man showed up.
And
dead.
the ground is soaked, right?
Half the stage is
Half the
blown
stage
over.
is over. Porta potties are tipped over. We had canceled, but then Saving Abel and Theory are there, and they're like, okay, well, we're not going to go anywhere. And Brett comes up and he's like, well, listen, we're going to have to film whether there's an audience here or not, because there's like production, right? This is way
It's the
past
very
just-
first episode of
This
Rock
is
of Love.
past
They have to
like
film it.
a tour date, right? Like there's legit reasons they have to do this tonight. And so we uncanceled and opened the gates up. And again, the ground is soaking wet, and you have 40 girls in like 8-inch
Stilettos.
heels,
Yeah,
stilettos. Like,
Oh,
and
those
they're
They
like,
striking old every
right,
time they
right,
step.
right. And there's me
Oh
ice
no
picks.
makeup,
I
a
would've
cheap
paid for
trick
this.
shirt. Like, I don't care about any of this. And I'm like, I'll wingman it. He's like, no. And I'm like, no, seriously, I'll wingman it. And then you see them all just like in the mud.
My
In the
wife
mud.
used to try to get me laid. Isn't that crazy?
That's a memory that.
She's like, I'll wingman it. And I'm like, seriously?
But we just laughed, and that was the
was
reason
fun.
that I
It
was
was
just
hilarious.
like, okay, this
You're
guy's.
having more fun than
Yeah,
you've ever
yeah,
had in your life, huh?
I mean,
She doesn't want to admit it, but she is.
Oh,
That's awesome.
yes, she
he was
is.
a good time. Yeah, he was a good time.
He's a good time.
That's awesome.
Y'all are adorable.
You're adorable.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I do my best.
No, seriously, I walked away the other day and I was like, that Josh Terry is like this. He's the yard dog thing. That's what got me, and I was like, I'm done. I'm a Josh Terry
Loyalty
person.
goes a long way, so.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Man, JT.
Appreciate it. If y'all want to know what we're talking about, okay, never mind.
Yeah.
You can be elusive about it. You can just
There's
say,
a bar that wants to work with me, and I don't like working with people who don't do shit the right way.
Don't pay you.
Yeah.
They don't do shit the right way.
Yeah.
And then I don't like it when they don't market stuff the right way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's awesome.
when they don't include the right things,
Yeah.
the right acts.
Yeah.
So when I was asked to do something, I turned it down because the right acts wasn't included in something.
Yeah.
Yeah, loyalty.
There you go.
Loyalty. We're
Morals
big.
over money.
Yeah.
Morals
Yeah.
over money is what I always say.
100%.
Man.
Because you can't get your morals
absolutely.
back, but you can always find that money somewhere else.
Yeah, I just life's too short. Like I don't like having shit. I'd rather have good relationships and friendships than a couple extra.
That's where I find my joy, man. Like,
Why are you gonna put your energy into something that you're not passionate about? too?
exactly.
Yeah.
That's
Well, there's a
like,
lot of people who do that every day with their 9 to 5.
I mean,
Yeah.
we tell our
And they're
kids.
unhappy.
Very unhappy.
yeah.
We tell our kids always. I'm a big like Joseph Campbell person.
Yeah.
Who I haven't seen Star Wars, so I'm sorry, but George Lucas wrote Star Wars because of Joseph Campbell. And Joseph Campbell's big thing was follow your bliss.
Yeah.
And if you follow your bliss, then you're in direct accordance to God.
Yeah.
And when God created you in his likeness and you're creating, then that's like your direct line, right?
Yeah.
And so we always tell our kids, you have to follow your bliss when it's like a good thing, right? Like if you're just like, my bliss is meth, that's not going to work.
That's messed up, actually.
But if your bliss is
messed up.
like creating something or being a good human or being a doctor or whatever it is, that's fulfillment.
Yeah. Yeah, I get mine from putting other people out there, as crazy as it sounds. Like putting
Yeah,
out
but that's
like,
your
the good
servant
stuff.
heart.
Yeah. Like I don't like spotlight at all.
Yeah.
And I know that seems stupid for what I do. I don't. I like putting other people in it. I really don't. Like I like making stupid jokes and talking shit or whatever. But like the other night, I got more excited and happier seeing Riley Anderson blow up at Whiskey Jam the way he did than I've ever got from me being on stage somewhere. Like it's just seeing my friends succeed.
I know that feeling.
Like
That's pure concentrated joy, right?
Yeah, like I have fun doing this stuff. Don't get me wrong, and I love it. But there's a part of me, and it's not like I can sit here and say that because I don't think I have any part in their success whatsoever. I don't. But it's just like I get to be there, and that's my
Yeah,
friend.
but that's being supportive is a major
Yeah.
part of
And that's
it.
really
This is a lot of
important.
work
That,
too.
And I'm sorry, didn't you just say at the beginning that you weren't humble?
Yeah, right.
I'm not.
He said he would
That's-
be if he had the talent.
Okay,
Oh,
that's
no.
crazy.
He's not
I'll
humble
be-
about other people. He's cocky for
Oh,
other
I'd owe so much child support if I could sing or play guitar.
Oh, Lord.
So much child
And
support.
he said he doesn't want the center of attention either.
I don't.
Yeah.
No, I'm telling you, there's a reason why God didn't give me those talents. I know this about myself. Trust me. There's a reason why I'm not over 6 foot tall. There's a reason why I ain't in better shape. There's a reason why I can't sing or play an instrument. The good Lord knew what He was doing. I know this.
He had to be held back somewhere.
Yeah, He had to.
so you could succeed in other places.
Yes, he knew. He
him
knew.
humble.
He knew where to block my blessings. He knew where to give others.
It's true though, when you find something that brings you as much joy as what you were saying the other night watching Riley do Whiskey Jam, and I know exactly what you mean because when I work with my local artists, it's the same way. Like, how do you find a way to make that part of your life and your story? And that's kind of what we all do.
Yeah.
Well, I've found a way between the podcast and other stuff that I want to do to where I've made it my job too. To where like even doing this, to where like when I have anybody that's on the show now or who've had in the past or future, I get a chance to put people out into the world to get them exposure, to get them to where they're going to get to where they want to be.
Yeah.
So it's great. It's great for me. I get to do what I want for a living to help people get to where they want to
And
be.
you're part of their story now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's one of the main things in my life is you want to you surround yourself with people that celebrate with you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, that's
That's a
important.
big
When you talk about
thing.
country music. Country music is so good about that. We say it's building your camp, but it's putting
Right.
people around you who support you and lift you up instead of taking.
Yeah, I don't
Or
think
just wanting something.
I don't think you can say country music. I think you can say you're a group because there's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I meant like country music versus other genres.
In
Yeah,
Nashville,
I
though,
think it's a
it is
mixed bag no
big-
matter where you. I mean,
Yeah.
Everything has.
There's
yeah.
not
Listen,
that
I
many-
don't listen to country music. I mean, I'm not trying to hate on it, but like I think it's a mixed bag because
There's
I've
not-
witnessed not good people in everything.
There's
yucky everywhere.
there's
Yeah.
not that many people that want you to succeed besides your friends because they don't think there's that much room for them.
When there's a lot
They
of
don't
people
realize
calling
there's a
That's
big-
the craziest part is they're like, if you succeed, then that leaves
Yeah.
less room for something when it's like, I just
No.
feel like there's room for everybody to be good
Yeah.
humans and be successful.
If everyone else
Um,
does.
Yeah,
My buddies Jared Blake and Big Vinny, that was our creed almost, as you were speaking about earlier. It's like, if I succeed, y'all succeed.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Right.
If y'all succeed, I succeed. It's like a tripod we had.
I don't think success would mean shit to me if my friends wasn't there.
I'm with
I
you.
I don't think it
You'd
would.
be
I-
by
I-
yourself.
Success. My definition of success is not money. It's not
No.
fame. It's not even notoriety, but it's peace and happiness and joy.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I
Abundance.
think
And
as
that
you
can be
get
done
older,
wherever, anywhere.
I could
as you
have.
get older, what you think, what you view as success changes. Like when I was younger, obviously, I was like, okay, I'm gonna be a singer and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do this and this will be success. And then you get older and you're like, actually, peace.
Yeah.
That's success. I mean, like financial stability, not
Oh, gosh.
excess, right? Is that success? I was taking a walk yesterday with my friend Felicia, and she's in a project, and she was like, you know what? All I want to do is just make money so I can give it away. And I was like, same. I just want to like have enough where like you're not having to save up to go to Disney World with your family, your whole family, right? And then so that I can give it away. Because she's like, I can't take it with me, but I can leave some for Scout, who's our son, to buy his first car. And I'm like, goodness gracious, your view.
I love that. I love her the more you
I
talk
know,
about
I
her.
love her so much.
I like her
Shout out
thinking
to
too
Fee.
because I don't want to do philanthropy. Like I don't want to go out there and raise. Not that I don't want to raise money for breast cancer and stuff, but
Right.
I want to see the person in the Target who's trying to decide between the brand name ketchup
Yes.
and the
Yeah.
off-brand and
Yes.
Here's
Here's $100. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
who like if I
We
had
try to
money,
do
that's
that
fine.
even when it's like we try to do that throughout the year, but particularly this season, we're not.
Remember you did it last year, and I cried like the gas station attendant.
Oh
lady.
yeah, we gave her $100.
I thought you gave her more than that.
No,
but
I gave her
still.
$100, and then I went back and gave her 50 more because I was
Yeah.
like.
But
I
like
love
just
you.
as you were saying, just watching that stuff, you're just like,
But we don't
That's
do
what
that
life
to
is about
bring
right
it up,
there,
right?
yeah.
Like you don't
No,
do it to
no,
bring it up.
no,
I just knew
no.
you're working at a gas station. I saw you this morning, and it's 7 p.m. tonight, and I still
but
see
you follow
here.
your gut.
Yeah.
You
Reason
follow
why.
where
Yeah.
the good Lord leads
Yeah.
you. You know.
I
you-
raised money a couple years ago just to pass out to strangers, and none of them could believe what I was handing them. And I was like, this isn't for me. Like, what you do with it is what you do with it, but I feel led to give this to you.
You want to know what's nuts though is that if I feel like if you set up and said whatever it was your fundraising was,
Oh, it was literally just to say I'm going to bless people
well,
at
I feel
random.
like it's almost harder to sell that and pitch that.
Oh, it
In
was
these
my
big
yeah.
organizations. People look at you and they're like, "Wow."
Oh
I
no,
don't-
it was my friends. Like I
don't-
just made like a little
here's
video.
$20.
Yeah.
They don't really want to help as much
Yeah.
as if it's a big gala where they're raising money where you're not sure where the money's being allocated.
No, I want to give it to a stranger, or I want to give it to like a friend's friend, or I want to give it to
Face
like
to face, man.
yeah, I want to give I want to give back
The
to
nerves
the
that come in your
community.
head.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know exactly. That's exactly.
Well, we were tricked at some point in time to think that like we were put here to work a 9 to 5, or we were put.
Dude,
here,
that's
yeah,
school.
yeah.
That's the
Or-
school
or-
That's
system,
just
bro.
crazy.
or we were put
School
here
system,
to,
bro.
or we were put here to,
Labor
to
workers.
glorify ourselves
Yeah.
or whatever. We were put here to put out what faith, love, and hope.
Yeah.
Like, that's what we were put here to
We-
do. So
we,
like paying it
homeschool
forward
our
is what
kids
we're
'cause of
supposed
that.
to be doing.
I was
Yeah.
homeschooled.
Were you?
Yep. Throughout middle
Yeah,
school.
we
and high
homeschool
school.
our
Yeah, we
kids
are.
because of that. I mean,
You look like you were homeschooled.
You're damn fucking right I do, brother.
When you
Yeah.
talk about mental health, I mean, knowing and understanding that we don't have to have a 9 to 5 to be successful is such a huge game changer.
That's
Yeah.
what I want to teach my kids too,
When we talk
because
about a
I
relief,
feel like we'd have more geniuses in the world if we would find the thing they're good at. And let's focus on that instead of be here for 8 hours a day, every single hour do is what you're told, go to the next class,
Get an
and
A
then
plus
clock
in
out
math,
and go home.
get an A plus
Here
in
goes the
physics.
conspiracy theory. Here goes
Oh, goodness. Oh, God. Oh, God.
you
Okay.
don't have to say it. Like, I mean, like, there's so much.
Well, no,
to
you're
say.
you're just training sheep though.
Yeah, you're making
you are.
factory
Yeah,
workers.
you're making
Yeah,
factory
You
that's
are
what it
training
is.
factory workers.
And
That's
listen,
exactly what
and
it is.
nothing's wrong with that, right? Like if that's where you're led and that's what you do and that's what
My
people-
dad was a factory
right,
worker.
like
My
great.
dad was very
He
happy.
printed National Geographic magazine. So did my mom.
Right.
My dad
I mean, but
worked
we
for a
need.
company for-
This is the thing too, is that we're not glorifying all of the jobs, right? Like someone saying, "Oh, I'm going to go into trade. I'm going to be a plumber." Someone's like, "That's so gross."
Yeah.
When
But
it's
you
like,
need
no,
plumbers.
we need more plumbers. Like
Yeah.
we need more this. We need more carpenters. We like. NPR recently was talking about kind of these trade jobs are like kind of plummeting because the goal is be a lawyer, be a doctor, be a whatever, and we're not running out of those people. What we're running out of
Welders.
are welders and carpenters and mechanics and plumbers and it's great, but it's kind of like we've split the middle.
I mean, we need those people just as much, and you should be just as proud to be
Oh,
a good
100%.
welder.
You should.
Listen, nobody beats our plumber, honestly. Like he's the kindest
We've
man.
done nothing but advertise since
Although
we've
the
been
dentist is
here.
Yeah.
amazing too.
Oh, listen.
Although our
yeah.
dentist is
That
always
is-
This is what it is we only find good people, and then once you're in, it's it. Like
stick-
the
we
yard
stick
dogs.
with it.
We're
That's
yard
right.
dogs.
Oh, that's how we are.
Yeah.
Nothing but good people. Surround yourself with nothing but good people.
It's awesome.
And it ain't like those folks don't make good money either.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, yeah,
they
yeah.
make good money. It's
An underwater welder, they make like
Oh my God.
Okay,
What about those people that climb to the top of towers and
Like
change
the
the
radio
light
towers?
bulbs?
talk about
oh,
living life
fuck
with
those
it.
psychos. That's absolutely not.
Like a
Those
bajillion
people are
feet in the air.
crazy.
Yeah.
Stay at home, bro.
Jared, are you talking about the window cleaners?
No.
No, the ones that go to the top of
You know
radio
those
towers
radio
and
towers?
change the light
Oh
bulb.
yeah, no. But I don't want to be a window cleaner either.
That
Well,
dude's
my
a
drummer,
psycho.
it was a window cleaner, and
Yeah.
like you have to have a certain certification to pass for like once you get past the 4th floor, like you have to pass a test in order to be able to wash windows above 4th.
You gotta wear like a harness and
Yeah,
shit. You
all
gotta be
that
strapped
stuff.
in. and
I'm
all that.
scared.
I'm way too
I'm
clumsy.
so
I
scared
wonder
of
if
heights.
that's the
Me too.
highest
Me
paying
too.
job
Me
in
too.
New York City. Like being a window cleaner, that has to be in NYC. Like that has to be.
But is it something like different industries where you're like get grandfathered in? Like my dad was a window cleaner, so now I get my foot in the door to be a
Probably.
window cleaner. Like I wonder if it's
No, they're
Has to be
psychos.
down generation to generation.
They're idiots. There's no
I don't have a
chance.
fear of heights, but
I do.
Oh, I
I'm
do.
petrified.
Man,
I do.
Listen, I
love
jumped
it.
out of a
Scared
plane.
right
I
now.
love it.
I jumped out of a plane the day before we got married.
Didn't even tell me. She's just like, hey, me and Stephanie are
Twin
gonna hang
Sky.
out.
My best friend and I. My best friend was like, "Let's go jump out of a plane tonight,"
No.
or this morning, and I'm like, "Okay."
And she
Day
gets back
before.
and she's like, hey, we went skydiving. I was like,
But
what?
listen, two ways. I'm dead, and then we don't get married, or I survive, and then we get married.
My
Like,
bitch
let me-
ass gets scared going up tall escalators.
Yeah.
That's not even a joke. Like I really do.
I went skydiving one time. It was the best thing I've ever experienced.
It was
dude.
so much
It was
fun.
so much
Timber
fun.
But
rock.
I had the foresight to tap my guy and be like, "Listen, you can do 2 spins out of this. The rest of the way, we just falling.
I
Okay,
told
we're
him
not
to go
flipping."
crazy. I was like, dude, a fuck ton
No,
of flips.
no,
Some
no.
Italian dude on
My-
my back. He's like,
My
all right.
best friend Stephanie did not tell her guy. She lands and she's like puking for 2 hours. I was like, "Yeah."
Absolutely not.
Okay, so
Wow.
I would rather jump out of a plane. I'm terrified of heights. But
Yeah.
I would rather jump out of a plane than be in a hot air balloon.
I've never been in a hot air.
I've never been in a hot air balloon either.
Yeah, like I would rather because
That
I'm
seems
I'm
fun.
ready
It
to
does seem
go.
fun.
I'm strapped up. I got like I
But
have
that is scary, though. What if it, like-
something to keep me from
That-
moving around
what
hard.
if
There
it-
has to be like a backup system.
Hot
You
air
know what I've
balloon.
never understood about hot air
Something. They're
balloons?
gonna have to
though?
figure out
It
if they
seems
go.
like the
Like,
stupidest form of travel.
what?
What is
Well,
it?
hot,
I-
what
A
is
hot
it?
air balloon.
I don't get it.
I don't think
Well, the
it's
Wizard
meant
of
to
Oz
be.
didn't think
It's,
so.
it's aesthetically pleasing.
I don't think it's meant to be a form of travel.
But that's how it was invented.
I mean, but
that was
Have
their
like a
form of
picnic, you know?
That was their form of travel.
Around the world in 80 days.
Kind of
baby.
like Ferris
very
wheel,
fast
but not.
What?
The worst
Like
thing a guy could do
perspective.
for you in a hot air balloon.
on how fast we're traveling. Like, I think they
Some
just wanted to
cheese
not
on there.
I can't hear everybody. I forgot we were doing a podcast.
It's like a damn break room in here.
Sorry.
Take 2. What now?
I was just saying, I mean, the perspective of you're traveling in a hot air balloon, right? They're like, I mean, we're going to go 50 miles, but I can nap the whole way.
That would take a year.
Yeah.
It seems like it would take a year, right?
Well, you can go around the world in 80 days in a hot air balloon.
Who said?
There's
The book.
The
The
book.
Yeah,
book.
that book fictional.
Yes,
Wizard of Oz
it
is real,
is
too.
actually. It's not. You've never heard of that book?
Yes, no, I was kidding. It was called Sarcasm.
You've never heard of that book. You've never heard of that fucking book.
Just because I said
Don't
I don't
you?
want to go to school and do a 9 to 5.
The only books you've ever read are smut. You have not read that book.
Sold, not read.
Shut the
40
fuck up.
Yards to the Outhouse, written by Willie Naked.
Oh my God. Anyway, I don't know how the fuck we got on hot air balloons.
But I do want to go bungee jumping though. That's something I've always
My
wanted
brother
to do.
does this. My brother
Wants to
is
so
like a thrill seeker, and he jumps out of airplanes all the time. He does the like bungee jumping off of bridges.
That's right.
Like
He was the youngest sergeant in his platoon.
he was.
So, like, he seeks adrenaline.
Yes,
Like,
he was 18 and a sergeant in Afghanistan, and just like
Riley Anderson, everybody. He dropped the coffee maker. He was trying to be so fucking quiet. He so saw his face.
Quiet as a mouse.
He was so mad at himself for doing that.
oh, my God.
Will you pause it for a second? All right, we're back. Sorry, piss break. Now Riley's not dropping shit. Anyway, I don't know. I said something, and you got me thinking about something. What's been like y'all's coolest moments? Like I was telling you, like mine. That's like you don't get an accolade, you don't get an award for it. Like something you can't put on paper.
Dude.
I was asking you, fucker.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So it was on the Nickelback Dark Horse tour.
Yeah.
Best year of my life, meaning like it was amazing to be a part of something like that. But there was always special guests coming there. Like I remember me and my wife met Ron Jeremy's once in catering.
Stop it.
Yeah.
there's a picture of it, and they're all shaking his hand,
Stop.
and my face is this.
Does he smell as bad as he looks?
And then every time you meet him, he's in a muscle tee, sweatpants, and Crocs.
Anyways, I walked up to Jeremy and was like, "Man, I've seen your penis more than mine." And he thought that was funny.
And I'm
Everybody's like, "Wait a
7
second."
Hold on, we have to explain to Alyssa who
I'm
Ron
7
Jeremy
months
is.
Ron
pregnant,
Jeremy
Do
is
so-
you know
He's
who
an
Ron
old
Jeremy
star.
is?
He's an old porn
He's an
star.
old school
Yeah,
porn
old
Yeah.
school.
He's
like
in jail
80s.
now.
Okay.
Yeah,
Alyssa, he looks like a
I thought
hedgehog.
everybody was
he looks
aware.
so ugly.
He's the
Yeah.
ugly.
So he's one of the ugliest motherfuckers.
He's the ugly human being. Yeah.
What's he look
We all thought that growing up too. We're like, what is how?
Buddies.
Do y'all
Show
remember
show
Club
her
La Vila?
show her a picture of Ron Jeremy.
Do y'all remember Club La Vila?
Yeah, in Panama.
I met him there, and when I was a freshman in high school, at a spring break party.
Do you know the foam there isn't actually foam? It's his chlamydia spreading.
Stop.
Ew,
Wait,
but that
what?
was
Wait,
like
what'd you say?
falling down.
I said the foam.
Looking for you?
There's a foam
chlamydia.
room at chlamydia. There's a foam room at Club La Vila. Like it's nothing but foam. And I said, did you know that it's not really foam? It's Ron Jeremy's chlamydia spreading.
Anyways, so
Oh,
the coolest
man.
thing,
The real cool thing.
the
though,
coolest
let's
thing
not-
that happened to
But
me.
hold on, I gotta record Alyssa's face once she sees this. But hey, show him like, Mom, please don't get mad at me what I'm finna do.
Are you serious?
Show
right
him,
now?
show him her
So he
hog.
was like really popular?
Leah,
Yeah.
show Alyssa his hog though.
Dog. His thing was like, dog.
I'm sorry. I'm
I
sorry.
think they call those summer sausages.
Yeah, you have to see this
legs,
thing.
whatever.
Look at his hog. Look at his hog.
Is it up there?
Yeah, look at it.
Oh my god!
That's
So
like,
That doesn't. It doesn't even look real.
it's real big.
Wait, I don't even know if it's an optical illusion though, because he's so little. Like he's so short.
He's short.
So when
Yeah.
you get to his knees,
They don't call him the hedgehog for no reason, ladies.
Oh my gosh. It's not crazy.
And
You
he
know what
came to
pisses me
multiple
off?
shows.
He's got that and I got this. That's all I'm gonna say. Once again, the good
God
Lord knew.
bless it. Yeah, he blocks blessings and we never needed it.
God damn it. He's got a hedgehog and I got Pedro. It's not fair.
And he came to multiple shows. Like
Really?
he wore the same white T-shirt
Bet you smelled him every time.
every single time. Smelled like hamburger helper.
And that's your favorite
No,
moment?
that was just one of them. My favorite.
Favorite moment?
Out of everything in your career
I was
so
hoping
far.
for something heartfelt. You're like, I met Ron Jeremy.
I fucking love Hamburger Helper, man. Anyway, so my most greatest moment, like the 12-year-old kid in me is still crying over this. But I go into Chad Kroger's dressing room one night after a show, and it might have been in Texas. I can't remember where, some arena. And I walk in, and there stood the Rocket, Roger Clemens, man.
Oh, man.
The one of the greatest. He's my second favorite pitcher. My first is Nolan Ryan, but Roger Clemens is second. Very close second or first, but he's in there with Chad, and they're having a good time. And of course, there's stuff going on. But I literally walked up to him, and I was like, "Man, you're one of my favorite pitchers, most favorite, you know." And he goes, "Wait a second," and he pulls out his cell phone, and he goes, "I got you on my playlist."
That's cool.
And I literally was like, my eyes were so big, and I'm turning and looking at people like, "Did you guys hear this?" Like, I just couldn't believe it. But it's still one of the coolest moments in my life that Roger the Rocket Clemens pulls out his cell phone. It's like, "I have you on my playlist." So I'm like, you know me? And I'm like, "You don't understand, man. Like, I wish I had my card collection there, you know." But like, anyway, so keep the story going. Chad ends up getting Roger a few beers and betting him that he can't hit the lampshade on the other side of the dressing room from pitching it like in a game. So here we are in his dressing room, and I'm watching Roger Clemens, who just told me that he knows who I am and likes my music. I'm watching him throw empty glass beer bottles at a lamp 30 feet away on the dressing room. It was one of the coolest moments in my life. He didn't hit it the first two times, but in his defense, he was drinking. But he got it on the third one. But still, it was. Dude,
that is.
I dream about
That's
that
so
moment. I was like,
awesome.
"Holy shit, man!"
That's
Yeah,
legendary.
Roger Clemens.
I like that he missed the first two times.
I do
Yeah,
too. I was like,
he's
yeah.
human.
He had
He's
to close
human.
one eye.
When
Yeah.
somebody that you kind of idolize or really like knows who you are, that's always.
It's almost like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm done.
One of my songs.
Go home now.
Anything that I send to my daughter or makes me think of my daughter is always something like really special to me. So Luke Combs has a song called "I Got Away with You." It's one of my favorite Luke Combs songs. But it's like something that always reminds me of my daughter. So Tyler Reeves wrote it.
Oh wow.
And I played in a golf tournament earlier this year for Creative Vets up here. And I was playing golf, and Tyler Reeves stopped me. And he had listened to one of my podcasts.
Oh wow.
And me and him got to
That's
be
cool.
buddies after that.
That's so.
And
cool.
I was like, "Oh shit, this is the coolest shit to me."
That's so
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah, and it's like when they show you that, like,
I reached it.
yeah, it's like, man, fuck this. This is cool. Like, it's
Yeah.
cool as shit to me.
Dude,
It made me so happy. The little kid in me could not believe what was happening in that moment, though, dude.
Yeah,
that's so
My
awesome.
mom knows who I am.
your mom's cool as fuck.
Your mom's cool as fuck.
Her mom knows who I am, so that's the coolest shit ever. Mama hell, baby.
Honestly, though, Nikki had a record deal before I did.
Really?
Look, I got her merch on my shit.
I was 20. I signed to Epic. True
Yeah.
love.
That's cool.
For real.
Yeah.
Can y'all's kids sing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think our middle one has perfect pitch.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of obnoxious.
Girl or boy?
Girl, we have two girls and then surprise boy child.
And we say surprise because he wasn't supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
they,
are they ever-
they,
think he's gonna
they
be
had a
Well,
surgery.
yeah,
and they
no,
took
I mean,
half of
not
her
to.
equipment.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
like, what do you mean he
They-
wasn't supposed to be there?
Yeah.
She had
I'm-
a surgery and they took half of her equipment.
Oh,
And
yeah.
the
And
doctor
Jared
was,
was like, hold my beer, watch this.
yeah, the doctor was like, "You're not going to get pregnant." And the next thing you know, it's like, "Go!"
And we don't find out what we're having, so, you're
I've
going
never
into labor.
rooted for penis more in my life.
I was gonna say, y'all just needed to remove half. And
Yeah,
then
that's
be
Made it. So, yeah.
Are y'all gonna let them do music or encourage them to?
Yeah, whatever they want to do.
Whatever they're chasing.
That's also
man.
why they're not in traditional school, because it's like, just be who you want to be.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I want to start this thing like where we're from, and like I got a teacher friend of ours that like me and her son are like we're like best friends growing up, and I think she's gonna end up being like on the board of education. But growing up, I love playing sports and everything, right? But on a good day, I'm 5'10". On a good day, and I ain't got many good days. I wish somebody would have told me that I should have picked up a guitar. I should have learned to write music. Like, I wasn't ever going to be a professional athlete. And I'm not knocking, like, myself or anything, but I would have been way better at something else. Like, I wish that they would let
Yeah,
kids.
but how do you know not all of that pointed you into what you're doing now?
Well, I'm not saying that it didn't, but there's just some kids, like, my shoulder, she knows better than anybody. My shoulder, I can't sleep all night.
Are you a side sleeper?
Yeah, like,
Me too.
my shoulders are shot, and my knee's bad, my ankle's bad. Like, I'll have pains the rest of my life.
Yeah.
There's a lot of kids, like, growing up playing sports. You're going to get abused playing sports, and it's going to be for nothing. To where, like,
No, the camaraderie.
it's fun, but it ain't worth it.
That's what he said.
Yeah. But-
Dislocated knee.
Yeah, like, the rest of your life, it ain't worth it. But if you find out, like, there's other stuff you could be good at, like music.
Yeah.
Music ought to be pushed more.
100%.
Absolutely.
That's
Music is
like-
not as
The
pushed
arts,
as
the
sports.
arts.
Yeah,
common
like
thread.
band and stuff is actually something you could do after school.
Yeah.
Sports is not something besides for like 1% of
But it's
1%
always the first
is
to
going
go.
to do.
The arts, in any capacity, it's
Yeah.
always the first
I
thing
want
that
them to
is-
start.
That was the
pushing
reason
it.
why my mom wanted to homeschool me to begin with, just
Right.
because at the end of 5th grade, I have ADHD, so it was always hard for me to
Always.
like pay. I feel like every
Speak
creative
for yourself.
You have to.
is, in some way they have something. But they were like, yeah, Devin hasn't made much progress. I was doing all these extra classes. I was doing a bunch of stuff. And they were like, we're going to push him out of middle school, 6th grade.
Yeah.
But he can't do band. He can't take any music classes. He can't do anything that I liked.
Right.
I wasn't able to do. And my mom was like, you know what, I'm going to homeschool him.
Yeah.
And we were like supposedly in like one of the best school districts in
We're
Michigan.
definitely in one of the best school districts in
and-
the nation, and my kids are still homeschooled.
Good, man. Yeah, because again, like,
Then there's the
I'm
other
the-
aspect where I have an ex who played he played ball all the way through. He played college ball, and he said that the sports wasn't getting him pussy anymore, so he picked up a guitar. So there's both sides of
Well,
it.
there's
And now
a reason
you
why it sounds
understand.
like an
Now you understand why we are all musicians.
oh my god, that's hilarious.
I don't think that was my goal.
He's like, I'm not getting enough poon. I need to pick up a guitar.
Probably why I would have picked one up, to be honest with you. Start off with.
Yeah, you see him with a guitar next week, playing Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah, where we're at, our school is great. Like, I would never homeschool mine, but we still do like Bible reading marathons on like courthouse lawn.
That's
Like our school system, but it's small as hell too. And plus, if I had to homeschool my kid, she would be stupid.
No, there's like things to support you. You don't really
There's
have
syllabuses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Curriculums.
Yeah, I don't know. I get why people do it.
Yeah.
I like it. Like
None of them have been in
I'm with
traditional
you
school.
though. I wouldn't be able to teach
Yeah.
my kids. I don't have the patience.
So I
And I
teach.
do y'all
probably-
find that they're
I also-
socially awkward at all?
No.
No, my
Not at all.
kids.
No. And also homeschooling does not mean isolated schooling.
Yeah.
So like my kids are in a nature school program, so they go 2 days a week. They do nature school, which is
What is
like,
nature school?
It's basically doing science and
How to skin a deer.
not.
Just kidding.
It's-
That's
Y'all have,
extra. That's
y'all have
extra.
hippie kids?
Yeah, I mean, if
Y'all
you-
got hippie ass kids, don't you?
No, listen.
Fuck
listen,
yeah.
listen,
You fucking
listen,
nerds.
Listen. No, look. JT.
love
There's
granola.
mushrooms growing out the
Yeah.
Listen, no, they're in nature. Our high school
I
is
fucking
not.
like
She's in
y'all.
like a program, but like it's like you do science and you do English and you do reading and writing and you do all these things, but you do it like out and outside if you can help it, right?
Yeah.
So unless it's like legit, you can't be in that weather. They are outside and they are doing these things.
That's awesome.
That's
And-
cool. I like
yeah,
that.
it's
That's
great.
way better
So
than
they're
what
not
I do.
socially inept at all.
Yeah.
Like honestly, you'd meet our 14-year-old, be like, you would have zero idea, except for she's incredibly savvy and she's very street smart in a way that like other high schoolers are
She
not.
probably communicates with other adults very well.
That's exactly it. 'Cause she grew up around adults. She grew up on a tour bus, so she like since she was 2, she's.
I remember Coda, our oldest, on the tour bus. There was always red Solo cups around, and so she learned at a young age to walk up to a drink and point to it and go, "Adult drink,"
Yeah.
and we'd go yes or no. And if we say no, she meant she could drink it. But
Yeah.
you'd hear some adult drink,
Yeah.
adult drink.
And then she'd
Adult
be like,
drink.
and then at one point she was like, "Is this spicy?" And
Oh
I was-
yeah, if it
yeah.
had alcohol
That's
in it,
cute.
if
Yeah.
it was spicy.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this is spicy.
And she goes, "It is spicy."
Yeah.
That's really cute.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Telling your kids how to not be an alcoholic.
My children are being raised in Louisiana, which is not a good school system. But our private schools have a really good homeschooling program, or a lot of them do, where it's like they do 1 or 2 days
that's
in the
great.
school, but it's not in the classroom with the normal, students. They have their own program. I can't remember what it's called, but it's really cool. Like they don't sit at traditional desks, and they still are studying on their own. But
Like a
they have an
Montessori.
opportunity to come together, and they can do the sports and stuff in the school.
My favorite thing about it is that it's child-led, and then I can really like sit into their strengths, and then I can help them feel supported in their weaknesses. And we don't really view it as a weakness. We just view it as something you need extra support in. And so like one of them loves math, one of them hates math, So one of them is left-handed, which would be a whole issue in traditional schools. So
Why would that be an issue in traditional school?
It just is.
it's just
it?
handwriting. Yeah,
Is that a
handwriting,
thing?
It's definitely a thing. So handwriting, there's like
You're left-handed?
so a lot of lefties struggle with handwriting, and they teach you improper ways to write so that it fits like the right-handedness of the peers, and so there's a lot of pressure on lefties. They're hippie kids, man. I'm sorry.
As a
Poor
homeschooler,
lefties,
are
dude.
you?
That's cool. I don't mind it at all. I like that.
Wow.
Yeah, my kid is just a bitch.
She's a girl. She's a teenager.
No, my kid is the best, but she is fucking mean. She is brutal.
Well, where do you think she gets it from?
She gets it
Where
fair.
do you think she gets it from?
We carry the sins of our fathers.
Yeah, she is the absolute best. Don't get me wrong.
She's a
but
female you.
No one hurts my feelings like she does.
Yeah, for sure.
She is brutal.
How old is she?
She just turned 13 in September.
Okay, our 14-year-old. You and me.
I
we're on the
I
same-
posted a picture yesterday, and I thought, damn, I look good. And I like a suede jacket on, that cowboy hat. My daughter texted me, and she said, "You look like a fucking moron."
You looked very nice.
Word for word. She said, "What do you have on? You look like an idiot." And I said, "Thanks, Grace. That's the confidence boost I needed."
I went to Lollapalooza at the beginning of September with my best friend, and I'm packing my bags, and our oldest comes in, and she's like, "Well, you're gonna bring that?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna bring that." She's like, "No, you need like fits. Like you need like some good outfits." And I was like, "Coda, no one in Chicago knows that I'm your mom back here in Nashville." Like at no point she's like, "Yeah, but if you take a picture and you embarrass me, it's on." And I'm like,
I was told I'm not allowed to wear a bucket hat, and I looked really cute in my bucket hat.
"Yeah, I get a lot of the restrictions."
I wore the bucket hat.
Yeah. As you should.
Gracie gives me shit about everything.
Yeah, but that's
But
a
then
good
she
daughter.
asks for everything.
I was on
It's the
Instagram. I
age.
was looking like through some of your shit. And I saw a video of her shaving your back.
So what else do you have kids for?
I mean,
If you don't have life, somebody's got to do it.
Yeah. I tell her all the time, I was a fucking remote control for years of my life.
Yep.
Yep.
Like,
Go up there and
she's
change the
lucky
channel for
that
me.
she just has to shave my back and do my dishes. Like, I
She
died
shaves
in.
your back.
Yes, my kid
Somebody's
shaves
gotta
my
do
back.
That's true. That's true. I had a drummer that would shave his back in the hotel, and I would never stay with him anymore because
Why
he was
would
just everywhere.
yeah, you would
See,
not.
I
you
always
would
did
not
it
do it.
outside.
can't stand-
I always do it. And then like
When I get
someone in
itchy,
whatever
it's
crew
gotta
I was
be
in,
done.
they
Wait,
give
is
me a
anybody
hand.
else surprised that Powder has back hair that has to be shaved?
Wait, you have no.
I got alopecia.
What is alopecia?
It's
think
an,
it's a
it's an
flavor.
autoimmune disease. So I was born with it. No, I don't have cancer. No, I'm not dying.
But how are
And
you
I
getting
don't
your
know if it's
back?
gonna grow
How are
back.
you getting your back shaved?
Well, my back before when I was on tour, they would shave it for me.
Prior.
Yeah, well, before
yeah,
everything
okay,
kicked
got
in,
it, yeah.
and for a while it like came in waves too. I had long blonde hair,
Yeah.
and so it was starting to fall out, this and that. Then after a while, I was like, you know what, fuck this, shaved it. Then I lost my eyebrows, and then I lost my eyelashes, and then my facial hair, and it's starting to come back a little bit. And then I noticed like my chest hair, and I had like Austin Powers type shit, and then my back hair too. So that's like I have like little patches.
So
in
finding the
back.
positive, you don't have to shave anymore.
Exactly.
Exactly. Are you kidding me?
Okay.
money saved.
Because it's not going to be a dirty bathroom.
I
There you
mean,
go,
that's
yeah.
the worst. I'll clean the bathroom, and I'm like, dude, you couldn't have done this 2 hours ago. And he's
And they
like,
don't
oh,
even
sorry.
I'm literally like CSI with my facial hair on the sink. I'm just like, hold on, she's still gonna find it.
No, there's no way. Like,
Dude,
y'all
it's nice too
think
because then
Yeah,
when I
no,
get
he
tatted, I
thinks-
can just
yeah,
it's
no,
like
he
it
thinks-
shows, you
I'm like,
know.
yeah,
It's just
wear
all.
a different round.
Yeah. Or it's like somewhere where you're like, how did this even?
I mean,
Where
really
did this
wanna
come
know,
from?
Nikki, since you homeschool, are you teaching cursive?
Yes.
Because you know they don't teach it in school
All of
anymore.
them. All of them,
They don't
but our
teach it at
youngest,
school.
our youngest.
No,
they don't teach it.
and my children who are 20 and 15 were not taught it. Well, that's not true. My 20-year-old was taught it, I know, but they can't. A lot of kids can't
This
read
is my
it.
question though. If not even reading it, if someone didn't teach you cursive, how do you have a signature?
Very true. And
Leave
how
mark
do you have,
X.
wait,
How do you
then
have a
that's whenever
signature?
you-
Is it all in grades?
This is like
Smiley
one little,
face.
like,
Right.
thing.
It's stupid. Cursive is stupid.
No, it's not. She
Yes,
actually
it
has a
is.
really
When's
good
the last
point.
time you read?
Cursive
When's
is-
the last time you read something
I'm not-
cursive?
Whenever I'm trying to impress someone or if I'm doing something, like, I mean, also, when was the last time I had to handwrite a fucking
Yeah,
letter?
right.
Or,
I
like,
mean,
you
I'm
know.
not saying it's like the thing that you, but how do you have a signature if you don't learn cursive?
She's very
You
right.
write.
and
You
that's
learn
a-
how to
that's a
sign your
woman.
name.
in print,
Only time I
You learn
learned
how to
cursive
sign
is
your
if I
name.
signed
but you only
Instead
know
of-
how to sign your name because you
instead-
learned the cursive.
Right. You know the
letters.
cursive, whatever letters.
Instead of saying learning it in cursive,
Just
you say
learn
learn how to sign your name.
But don't you want to learn all 26 letters and not just the 4?
I didn't want to learn all 26 letters.
Why
when
would
they
you
taught them
learn
to
the
me.
other 26 letters if you're not going to use them?
Gotta work smarter. than
Learn how
harder.
to
To
sign
sign
your
someone
name.
else's name and forge documents. I don't know. I mean, like,
Forged document.
Oh,
Now we're doing felonies with cursive. Good job.
I do remember though whenever I came up with my
So that's why I took it
Oh,
out the
yeah,
school
yeah,
system.
like my J matched my mom's J.
oh yes, my signature very much looks like Donna's.
Yeah, see? Maybe this is a girl thing.
I mean, it might be in like an
Felonies.
early 2000s.
My dad's middle name is Tyrone.
Is that for real?
Is it
For real.
That's
Your
not for
dad's
real.
name
You're
is-
full of shit.
Joey,
So
Joey
My dad was
Tyrone.
born in Chicago, Illinois. He was on the south side, Smith Loop.
Sounds real south.
And well, the thing is, his uncles had chicken. They were chicken farmers in Alabama. And when I say chicken farmers, I don't mean like one or two chickens. I mean as
Like
far
for
as your
Tyson.
eye could, my little second grade eyes could see was chicken.
Yeah, those are those kind of chickens that never leave their
Yeah,
No,
they-
it was for
So he
Tyson.
spent a lot of time in the South. But yeah, that was his name, Joey Tyrone.
Not
Louise.
is his name.
Wow.
Well, yeah, is his name.
Wait, he sold chickens to Tyson and his middle name was Tyrone?
No, the
His
uncle.
uncle did, yes.
That's I was like, that's
Uncle Kurt and Aunt Desi.
I'm keeping my mouth shut. There's about 7, 8 jokes here at borderline.
I got a story about a chicken. I'll tell you off the microphone.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Let's do that.
All right, we'll be right back after these messages.
I'll tell you what.
for the explicit version.
It is not. I mean, basically, I'm not going to tell the story at all, but it's enough of a story that everyone who hears it, it then becomes a joke.
They always
And-
come up to me. They're like, "Hey,
Right? Like there's this little catchphrase that happens, and you are scarred. Always.
That's funny. Do y'all have anything y'all want to promote before we get off here in a few minutes? Like, I know you said something dropped. Tell them what you had dropped.
Yeah,
That I'm very
no.
proud of you for doing your first music thing.
Thank you so much. I just released my first EP.
Oh, that's cool.
Yay.
What's it called?
It's called Wouldn't Change a Thing. I'm really excited about it. Yeah, it means a lot to me, and I'm excited to finally share it because, like, my old material back in the day when I was doing it like 7 years ago, it was just fun, you know, just kind of.
following your bliss."
Yeah, you know.
Can I tell them
yeah,
what it was?
go ahead, go
Can I
ahead.
tell them what it was?
Tell them.
So she rapped. It was Honey Hole. But you can tell what happened. And I asked y'all about this one night, and I remember asking you two about it. And I guessed, because I had no idea. I said, I bet someone saw her on social media, saw how pretty she was, saw her following, and was like, hey, I got an idea.
Yes, it was very much so. Like, you know, I've always loved music, wanted to get into it, you know, and then I met an opportunity, so I fell into more of like their ideas of,
Yeah.
you know,
Instead of doing what you wanted to do.
right. So I quit that, and then so this stuff is me, what I want to say, and so
Love
I'm
that.
proud of it.
Let's go. Good for you.
Congratulations.
Oh, that's what it was.
Thank y'all so much.
so
Thank
awesome.
you. I appreciate it.
I forgot about the movies.
You were in movies? What movies?
I was, yeah.
What was
I have
Rock-
a couple movies and stuff out. They're on Tubi, Amazon Prime, and things like that.
What are they called?
Hallowed Be Thy Name. And then I have one called P.S. I Hate You.
Oh, I was about to say, I was going to finish it for her and go, "I love you." Yes, I love you. And she's like, "No, I hate you."
Yeah.
No way.
I love Jim
What?
Carrey.
She's
Yeah.
got some
I
good-ass
love Jim
We're
Carrey.
talking about the video game, which
She's
is
got some good-ass hot.
Yeah,
Did you get to
y'all.
meet Jim Carrey?
I did get to meet Jim Carrey. there. He was really
Oh,
cool.
Running
And,
Man.
Oh
yes,
my
and Jeff
God.
Daniels. He was awesome too. Yeah.
So
cool
Peter.
people.
You know, one thing I learned from Jim Carrey was that Finkel is Einhorn and Einhorn is Finkel.
She's too young for that.
Oh, I forgot. Ace Ventura. Ah.
You haven't seen Ace Ventura?
See, this is an age thing.
So I
I haven't seen it. I've seen a lot of Jim
But-
Carrey movies.
We
I haven't
I
seen
wasn't
it.
allowed
I'm
to watch
not
that
like
movie.
it's just like so you mentioned earlier you haven't seen Star Wars.
I've seen a lot
like
of
I
iconic
still
movies.
haven't seen Star Wars either.
Yeah,
You
but
would-
I
I don't know
haven't
if you'd
seen
like
Star
Star
Wars,
Wars.
and that's pretty like.
I love
not-
Star
to watch
Wars.
it. I think
I
seen
mean,
a
I've heard
couple.
it, but I'm 40. I don't think at this point at all
No,
I'm going to
you'll
watch Star
appreciate
Wars.
it more now as an adult because you'll understand and get the story. I never would have watched it if my kids hadn't made me watch it. And then once I watched it and understood it,
If it's not The West Wing, I'm probably not going to watch it. Sorry.
I'm an Indiana Jones fan.
Never seen it.
I took a right with Indiana Jones where everybody went left with Star Wars. So
I
I was
like
like,
them
yep,
all.
I'm going over here.
Rebel.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I've never seen Friends. I've never seen Seinfeld. I've never seen like The Sopranos. I've never seen any of the stuff like that people were watching.
Yeah,
I just
wow.
never. I was listening to Bob Dylan and like songs
Elvis
Ohio.
Costello.
Oh, you're cool as
I'm,
shit.
excuse you.
You're all age.
Elvis Costello.
Elvis Costello is the only thing you need to know about in this life, and then The West Wing, and that's it.
That's cool.
Why West Wing though?
Because it's the greatest show
good.
ever.
It's good.
Listen, I have a West
Because
Wing
it really works well at putting you to sleep.
No,
have a West Wing
excuse you.
tattoo.
Sir,
Just
I do.
kidding.
I
It's
have a
Aaron
West Wing
Sorkin.
tattoo.
He's a really good writer.
Aaron Sorkin is like the best, but the West Wing from beginning to end is
Solid.
beyond solid. It has one of the it's you know
Oh,
what I'm
God,
saying?
here
You'll
we go,
find something
another
you really
hour.
Love, and then like you get to season 4, and you're like, what happened?
I've
in
watched
season 4?
it has 7 seasons and I've probably watched beginning to end
Multiple
15 times.
Yeah, multiple. In fact, at night, if like I'm on my phone and she's going to sleep, or if I'm going to go downstairs and work on an art project or whatever, and she needs a TV on, I'll just put it on West Wing, put the remote down, and walk out. I'll know she'll stay asleep like a little baby. She'll never wake up as long as West Wing's on.
And the
I'm like,
funniest
we're
part
good.
is he's probably seen the entire series,
Multiple
but
times.
he's never sat down to
Yeah.
watch it.
If you ever build a like bomb bunker, make sure you have that series down there.
Absolutely.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love Toby. He's cool. I like Toby.
Toby's the
7
best.
on repeat.
I'm that way with Always Sunny in
As for the Ace
Philadelphia.
Ventura
I love
thing,
that show.
for y'all have to watch this.
I gotta watch it.
I'll watch it.
I
You
know.
watch
I
it.
gotta
I
update
watch it.
myself.
I know you'll giggle box. You will love Ace Ventura. You
There's
will.
nothing better than
I'm gonna
the late
watch it, I
90s,
promise.
early 2000s.
Yeah.
And even like that just no one will understand.
You cable guy?
Original American
guy.
Pie.
Cable guy. Cable
Oh, I
guy.
love American
The
Pie.
original
I've seen that.
American
Oh,
Pie,
dude.
like,
Scramby eggs. What did you just say? Are you doing the cable guy?
Yeah, cable guy, dude.
Cable guy freaked me out.
But he was he was so taboo. He was so like you weren't really supposed to.
I grew up in a
love Jim
Pentecostal
Carrey.
home, and we couldn't watch. Like, no, you can't watch.
Yeah,
that.
he was like the
Wow.
no,
Yeah,
right?
really
And then you
evangelical.
look at him now and you're like, oh my God, what a genius! Like
Yeah.
beginning to end, like
It
he's.
is.
An
Do you know how
insane-
anti-Hollywood he is?
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm sure.
I do
so.
now.
He's a
I do
conspiracy,
now, yeah.
conspiracy theorist.
I've seen
isn't
some
he?
videos.
He's like
more of a
he's
spiritual
real big in
dude.
the
Yeah, he's super spiritual
Yeah,
right
he's
now.
real big into mental health and everything.
Yeah.
Like he's so anti-Hollywood, and he's just like he hates everything about it.
And he don't care who knows it either. I love that about him.
He's one of those that made his money and he like set it back. He never blew it,
Yeah,
so he
yeah.
can say what he wants to.
Yeah. Have you seen the writing? Like, what is it? It's the Jerry Seinfeld. It's like the writing in cars and drinking coffee
Yeah.
or whatever. And his episode with Jim Carrey.
I
I've
haven't
actually
seen it.
I know
It's
what you're talking
so good. It's
There was
so
a
good.
comedian
Watch
that
it.
died last year. Who was it that was real big that died? And he went on their special and just showed out. Norm Macdonald.
Oh, okay.
When Norm Macdonald, it's on Netflix.
Yeah.
You should go watch it. Jim Carrey gets up there, and he's funny, but he's also sensitive when he does it. Ugh. I just remember crying like a bitch and laughing at the same time. But he just talks about like taking care of yourself over everything else.
Because Norm was an alcoholic, I do believe, or something.
Well,
like that.
Norm
Or his
Macdonald,
friend.
I love everything about Norm Macdonald. So Norm didn't tell none of his friends he had cancer.
Oh wow.
He knew that all of them would like just be there.
Yeah.
Right.
And he didn't want to burden anybody. So none of his friends knew
Wow.
he was dying till the last week. So none of them got a chance to say goodbye to him really till the last week. So
Well, he lived his life.
they were all kind of pissed at him, but also they were like,
I'm sitting here thinking like I would be upset with my friend if he did that. But it's
I'm
like
sitting
he's the
here-
one dying. So
Well,
I would get
And
They
I'm
all-
sitting here thinking like that's super smart.
It is
but
hard. I don't think I could
they
actually
all
pull it off.
said, in the special though that like he knew that it was, what is it like when there's no, what is it when you can't fix it?
Terminal.
Terminal.
It was terminal.
Like he knew how they would be. So like Norm said that the reason why he didn't tell them is he didn't want to be treated any different.
Yeah.
He wanted all of them to still be the same fucking assholes that they
Yeah.
were.
right.
Because that's why he loved them. He said that he didn't want anybody acting different. But then he got like the way they all act, like they're all broken in this special. And it is, but Jim Carrey is like, wow.
If you think about it, Jim Carrey's not replaceable. He is a
Oh, no.
genius.
Yeah.
He's an
Oh,
amazing
really?
actor. And
I view him and Robin Williams kind of like the same.
Robin
like, what a
Williams
great,
is my favorite.
completely
Oh.
wired differently than the average person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just this great loss.
Robin Williams was special.
Yeah,
There-
that one hit me hard.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And I don't ever. I'm so disassociated from like if someone passes, I don't know them. I have no like reaction, and even if I like what they've done and whatever their craft is, but Robin Williams, I think like that was a hard one.
When Michael Jackson died, that was weird for me. And I wasn't a huge Michael Jackson fan. I just knew like there was a part of history that was
Yeah, it was a pop
missing.
icon.
Yeah.
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 And we were never going to find out the truth.
Oh no, he touched some boys.
See, we don't really
No,
know.
he
You
did.
can't watch. You can't watch. Have you seen the?
Oh, I've watched
the
it
documentary.
7
I
times.
watched it, yeah, and like, yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Those
he-
two dudes telling that story,
I think they're telling the truth. for
they
sure.
did not make that story up.
I don't think they did either.
That
Like, what
did-
was
they
wrong?
didn't
How do you
make
make that
story
story? You can't make that story.
Right,
up.
but if you look at it, and I say this because I was molested as a kid,
Yeah.
but if you look at it, like Michael Jackson probably had the same things happen to him.
Yeah.
I don't
You
think
know
he
what I'm
grew.
It was
I think he
normalized.
stuck
That's where it comes
as a
back to
child.
like
Yeah.
how you were
Same
raised.
Same
and-
thing with our girl
It was
Britney.
something
I mean-
normalized for him.
And his childhood was fucked.
That's what I'm saying. You got a childhood like
His
that,
childhood
like,
was
Yeah.
you
fucked.
have no future in normal.
You were talking
Yeah.
about trauma.
Doesn't matter how much
Yeah.
success comes
Yeah.
your way, you're not set up for success with a childhood
I
that's
have
poor.
I have friends that orbited that, and both parties have conflicting stories. One person, one group of people never saw anything, and it was nothing but kindness and just roller coaster rides. And then you've heard the other story.
Yeah.
I don't think it was with everybody. I think those kids probably were
Well,
telling
no,
the truth.
like some people like blonde, some people like
Yeah,
brunettes.
but I also think that there was a real. We're talking about mental illness and
Yeah.
mental health. Like I think with him, nobody wanted to actually touch it.
Yeah.
Him, who he was as a real person, and he was so stunned.
Mm-hmm.
And so in his mind, I don't think it wasn't a grotesque. I'm assuming,
Yeah.
because I don't know.
Yeah.
But it doesn't seem like it was a grotesque.
I think the catch here is though is that we're glorifying someone who did a lot of really like crazy good things
Harmful
and like
things.
and did all of this music and changed a generation, and it was such a pop icon. I think we're glorifying that because at the end of the day he very much could be a monster, but he is past and we don't know. And so
Right.
like from my standpoint, I just can't speak up at things that I don't know. I just know what I've heard from people.
right.
It's
Yeah.
like, is he glorified because he is this icon? Because if it was just a random black man on the street, he would not be glorified. He
Yeah,
would-
see, I'm a dick, right?
Yeah.
So I think he ought to be held accountable. I don't care of his stature.
Well, I think he is now. He's dead.
I think he's being held accountable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
saying, like,
Nick
I
said that
think
perfectly.
I'm one of those, and like, once again,
Yeah.
I'll probably be the extremist on here. Like the way that they strip like all of R. Kelly's shit off of everything.
Yeah.
I think the same shit should happen to Michael Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
yeah,
that'd be
yeah.
a big,
I
that'd
get
be
it.
a bigger,
Yeah,
more.
Kelly as well.
Huge
That's a larger catalog.
Yeah, I
There's a
still
lot
think,
of
but the
catalogs.
reason why it hasn't though, and I think it
Too
should,
many
is
people are
because
making
the money
money on
behind it, whoever
For the
owns
money,
that
yeah.
catalog,
Yeah.
whoever owns it,
Yeah.
that'll never allow it to happen, and
Well, yeah.
that's what's shitty. That's somebody picking money over morals there.
And that was
And
exactly
that's
my
bullshit.
point. We'll never know the truth.
Well, and also you'll have the flip, right? They'll say, well, it was never proven.
exactly.
So then if you can't, why would we take this away if we never proved any of this, right?
To me though.
Also, I'm really good at devil's advocate.
What?
I'm a really good devil's
Oh yeah.
advocate.
Well, usually on this show, I have to be the one that plays the middle
Yeah.
a lot with stuff. But you're doing a great job of it, so I don't have to. So, but
Jared might have something else to say.
yeah,
He
I-
literally the other night was like, to my best friend from growing up, he's like, do you realize she plays devil's advocate for everything? She goes, yes, since we were 14. She's like, she'll play devil's advocate even if what she's saying she doesn't agree with. Because she just, that's how,
I have to do it all.
You want to make sure
time.
you evaluate all perspectives.
everything.
Well, it's the only way to. especially when you do something like this, it's not my job to tell the listener what's right or wrong. I'm supposed to give you the information, and then you're supposed to fucking make up your own mind.
Independent journalism.
And then you're supposed to go look up whatever I'm
Plant the
saying.
seed.
You mean be an adult?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
supposed to make up your mind for you.
Right.
No.
I've already made up my mind how I feel. I think Michael Jackson's a piece of shit. Now,
Well-
am I gonna get drunk every once in a while and listen to Billie Jean? Probably.
Right.
Well, and
Right.
why are we
probably-
afraid to say
No.
our
Yeah.
opinion? It's
But-
just our opinion.
Yeah. That's the part where it's like something so glorified that the right could be right there,
Yeah.
but they're not going to do anything
Yeah, because
about
it
it.
outweighs. You know,
That's-
I
like you
mean,
said, money over morals.
Like,
Yeah.
not to take this turn, but like the Lost Prophets were a band, and then the lead singer got in trouble for like, you know, bestiality and like some serious stuff with like an 18-month-old, and he's in jail, and you can't find Lost Prophets nothing anywhere. Because it's literally stripped out from the DSPs and
Completely agree with you, and that's exactly why I said what I said about him being part of history now. No matter what, he's a part of history, and we never got the answer. If we had gotten the answer before he passed, it could be
Kind of like
changed.
the Puff Daddy situation.
Yes, very similar.
I think his stuff's gonna get fucking slipped under the table.
slipped on the table.
I think
It better not, son.
It's going to.
It better not.
Is that
It's
pun
going to.
intended?
It better
It's
not.
going.
Slipped.
Yeah, it's gonna get slipped under the table.
You
It's
think
going
so?
to.
I
Think
think
about it.
It's
Okay,
going
I mean,
to.
not to get conspiracy theorists, but like the Lou Taylor and the people that are part of Diddy are the people that were a part of Britney's. It's like this whole it's this
all
whole
connected.
machine.
Yeah.
and it's their own culture.
There's too much money behind that shit.
Dude, he should go down though.
I feel as if they gave him away to hide the rest of the stuff.
Yes.
They're
Yes.
gonna be like,
That's
here,
how
we'll
it
give,
goes.
we'll
Yeah.
give them
Yes.
Puff. But
Well, the crazy thing
Yes.
is the fact that Cat Williams talked about it 6
oh
months
my
ago.
God.
Don't get him
And-
started
and
on Cat.
then-
I love Cat Williams.
I do too.
I love him.
And then it comes
what's her
out.
name?
Why
Jaguar
did that
Wright.
happen in that order? Like, why does it all of a sudden a crazy little fucking comedian bring it up and then it happens?
Yeah.
No.
And Jaguar Wright too. He plays all her videos, and he's like, look at this, look at this.
Yeah, like
Oh yeah,
that.
she scares me a little
No,
bit. But
it
I'm
got a
happy
little
he
bit of
sent it.
attention brought to it. Somehow there's going to be a loophole
Yeah.
or something. He's going to get out of it.
I think you.
Or even if
Oh,
he doesn't get-
also, the funny part though is when he's like, I bought it all in bulk at Costco, the baby oil, and Costco was like, no, you didn't.
Hey, you know what's funny? Yeah.
Mr. Diddy.
But it's also stupid about it. It's incredibly funny that he had 1,000 things of baby oil, but it's not illegal to own 1,000 things of baby oil.
Right, but they seized
It's also weird
every
as fuck.
single
It's weird as
bottle.
fuck.
They seized every single bottle, and they are saying that they were putting the drugs in,
I was gonna say, I
in the
wanna
baby
know.
oil.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
They were saying that they're putting the drugs in the
I didn't
baby
know
oil.
That was
That's
the
why
thing, like
everybody.
they were
Yeah.
doing. It was putting.
Oh,
them-
shit.
Also, so
I
you
didn't know
couldn't
that.
escape his house. Have you ever tried to open a door with baby oil on your hands? It's impossible.
I don't fuck with baby oil.
the TikToks of the people slapping.
Oh my
That's where I
gosh.
got that from.
Yeah, I don't.
When you
I,
see-
the fact that I think also too, because I like conspiracy theory nut. I think he's the one that killed Pac too, and the fact that he's got away with
probably.
it. The fact that he got
That's a
away
part
with
of
it
it,
for
yeah.
that long
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah.
He's gonna figure out how to get out of it.
I
He's
think
got
that
something
dude
over
though,
somebody's
there
head.
was like a dude that just got arrested in Las Vegas or whatever. Like that was
TPD?
whatever. And he said that 100% he was a part of it. He was part of the push for it.
Yeah. Have y'all ever? I mean, I already. There's a movie that came out not long ago. It's The Night Before, I guess. It's got Johnny Depp in it, and it's got what's the guy that's got one sleepy eye and one wide awake eye? Forrest Whitaker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
King of Scotland.
It's a really good movie. But anyway, it's a book. The guy who was the lead detective on Biggie's murder, on Pac's murder, I can't remember which one it was. He solved the shit back in the day. He 100% solved the shit back in the day. He wrote a book about it. Then somehow it got pushed down, swept under the rug or whatever. They made a movie about it a couple years ago. It's great. Watch it.
Is it on Netflix or something?
Yeah,
What's it called?
It's
The night before.
I think it's called. Let me look it up. But they know who did it, and
I'm sure
it's
they do.
100% connected to Puffy.
Yeah.
100% connected to
Is
Puffy.
the Puffy situation, and we're just using him as a label, but the whole thing, is this our modern day mob stories?
They're still mob. The mob is just
I think it's
mob
very
is who
possible.
runs the
Yeah.
country.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Because it's a different culture, and obviously we're in a different era with,
Yeah.
computers and internet and everything else. So is this a modern day mob?
They cityalize is what it's called.
I tell you what breaks my heart is every time I see Justin Bieber's face. Because if you listen to some of his songs and stuff, like Usher literally signed over the rights to Puff Daddy for a couple of days.
Yeah.
And Usher, they say, it was also attacked like that sexually or whatever.
Great.
So the whole thing is like, if you were attacked like that, Usher, why would you sign over Bieber? Da, 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 da. So, but if you listen to some of Bieber's songs, he literally is asking for help.
Yeah.
And
I lived in
it
Atlanta.
breaks my heart. Like
It's that one
literally.
song. It was a song "Lonely" or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Nick?
I lived in Atlanta during all of this, so I'll just keep my mouth shut.
Well, that and okay, and they
The
talk about drinking.
rumors were like,
I'm sure they're crazy.
Oh, I
like,
bet.
yeah.
The
yeah,
drinking, whatever it was, the gold juice or whatever. I would think that the whole like Usher passing it on and stuff, it's a grooming process, and my opinion is that it was probably part of a initiation. Process.
Yeah, but
Well,
look
you
at
probably-
like Epstein and Ghislaine. Like it's like you have the person, you have the hurt person who's under your spell, and the hurt person who's under your spell because they're so hurt, you've broke them down, is now doing your business. So you can, I think that's normal abuse, right? In the sense
Yeah.
At
of
a way greater.
Well,
textbook.
I think in some cases,
textbook.
it's textbook, yeah,
I think in some cases too, devil's advocate.
yeah,
Some cases too, I think it's some people want something too bad, so they're willing to do anything.
100%.
And then,
100%.
and then it gets too normalized to them, so you don't realize how deep you've got in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And
also
you're like,
think of
whoa.
the common thread, though. Think of the common thread. Wade's family let him go live with Michael to do music.
That mama needs all their mamas in that documentary.
They need
The,
Jesus
the-
in
the
therapy.
one of them
But-
needs her fucking ass.
I
I can't remember which
completely
mom it
agree.
was, so I'm not gonna say her name. But the one that was like, oh yeah, I was fine with just letting them go stay in another hotel room. I don't understand why they put me in a different one.
I did that.
You're a
same time. I was
dumbass.
Like, what in the
But
world?
think
That's
about it though.
fucking
It's like these
ridiculous.
people. They're like they think, okay, you can't be this awful human, right? You can't be. You're Michael Jackson or you're Usher or you're Diddy. Like the common thread is that these parents let their children leave with adults, and they were not present.
Well, they let and I obviously don't know what they were thinking at the time.
I mean, I think it's just the hunger, right? Where their
It's the
kid
money.
is super hungry,
Is
and
it-
it's the money, and it's
Yeah.
the fame, it's the potential for it all. Because as soon as Wade did that, Wade was choreographing things for Janet. He was choreographing for Britney. He was choreographing for NSYNC and Backstreet. Like he was doing remixes on music.
And what would happen if he stepped up or he spoke up? It's all stripped away from you. and he's
Right,
the
which
crazy
is why
person.
I think in the documentary, not I think, I know, he said that's why he went to that trial and was like, no, nothing happened to me.
Yeah,
Illuminati.
because you're gonna be the only person who's gonna be made out to be crazy is him,
100%.
and everyone else is gonna stand back. As if
Well,
they're
right, and if
wrong.
you're like a tiny little Bieber, right, and you're just like, this isn't right, but I now have the #1 single on pop radio, you're gonna say, well, it's all right for right now.
which
Yeah,
brings us
because
all
you're now
back
stuck
around-
with trauma for the rest of your
This
life.
brings us all back around to us and our daily lives and narcissistic abuse in general, because this is on a
100%.
huge scale with groups versus individual one
The
individual.
narcissists I know have groomed the people around them,
Exactly.
whether it's their partner or the humans that say yes to them.
Absolutely.
Yes,
You are
people are
absolutely-
dangerous, man.
It's scary. It's scary.
Yeah.
So that's on a huge scale. The Diddy, like all that, but it happens to us every day in life.
That's why you surround yourself with good people, like the people in this room.
That's why we're at Josh Terry's podcast.
That's right.
That's how you end a podcast. That's great.
Good job.
Thank you very much for
That's
coming
good.
on.
Well, I want to thank all of y'all for coming to hang out with us a little bit. I appreciate it. Y'all are all great.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank
I
you.
love you guys. You
Always.
guys are great. Proud of all of y'all. Yeah, I love getting to do this with folks like y'all. It's just different. I get stuck so often with just doing shows with people. I quit like 6 months ago doing it with just random people because they had social media followings.
Right.
I couldn't do it no more. Like I got to the point with this, I was like, look, I talked to my management company. I was like, I'm either fixing to quit doing this show or I'm fixing to have to take a turn.
Yeah, because
It
when
makes
you
it-
do stuff for the masses, like you tend to get away
feels
from who
empty.
you really are.
That's where
Yeah.
again, dude, it comes down to like, and it, like with like videos I post and stuff like that. Like, man, I'll ask people every once in a while, like, what do you want to hear? Da, da, da. But at the end of the day, it's like I love to play drums and I want to inspire people.
Yeah.
So I love being able to like doing the studio stuff, content stuff. It's awesome. That's why I love touring though, to be face to face. But at the end of the day, it's all just about inspiring people. if you're not doing something that you're passionate about, people are gonna pick up on that, and you'll feel it too.
Well, I'd rather focus on legacy than popularity.
100%.
Boom.
Yeah,
Boom.
I just don't care no more. Like the more I think about it, it's like, what mark am I leaving? Like, do I want people to talk good about me in 10, 15 years, or do I want somebody to be like, hey, that dude had a cool podcast list to yesterday with this dumb bitch that's got 1 million followers on social media. I just don't care no more.
Yeah, but people are going to get more from you having a heart-to-heart about mental health and like being with your friends than anything superficial, right? Where you're just like, so tell me about
I just can't
what
do
you're
it.
doing.
Your Ron Jeremy moment.
Yeah.
Ron Jeremy's funny. That was funny. That was
great. That was hilarious.
seeing your face when you saw the hog.
Made it all worth it.
It was worth it. That was perfect. That was perfect. You were petrified. You were petrified.
Ashton, anyone who sees it.
I mean, I
no
showed
shit.
her a full-on like scene.
Yeah.
She wasn't able to
Anyway,
escape it.
no,
And that's a good way to end the podcast,
yeah,
right?
but no. But seriously, best luck to all y'all. Thank y'all for coming. Maybe we get together, do this again in a couple months or whatever. Y'all are always welcome back. Anytime y'all got something to promote or anything like that, please let me know. We'd love to have y'all be part of it. When you got your next song coming out, let me know. We'll do
It'll
another
be soon.
episode.
Yep.
We'll do it. Anytime you got anything, Leah, tell them the name of your podcast.
I have a new podcast. It's called Our Unapologetic Era, and we're only on YouTube right now, so it's Our Unapologetic Era.
And you got anything coming up there, big fucker?
Man, I'm just playing with a bunch of people, man. I mean, shout out to Hunter Chastain and Hunter Chastain, Jason Cross.
Are you playing the
great
thing
band
tomorrow
called
night at
Barstool.
Barstool?
No, I'm not.
They're doing a Nickelback tribute tomorrow night at Barstool.
Oh, that's rad.
It's gonna be badass.
No, but I'm just playing for a bunch of artists, getting ready for the touring schedule for next year, and then just a lot of stuff in the studio. And for the companies, I'm going to be doing like a drum contest thing on Instagram where people can win some SE mics, like SE Electronics, some of the best drum mics. I'm doing my first drum clinic in January, so I'm going to be like posting all that soon and doing all that. I'm doing that at Drum Supply. Shout out to Andy. Do that drum shop is phenomenal. Yeah, man, I'm just always grinding, you know.
And I don't know when I'm putting this out, so make sure you check out the Raising Grace rounds. Go look at all of Jared's catalog and everything. And just thank you for listening to the show. Go check out all the artists that we work with. Listen to all their music, not just the singles. And we love you guys. We'll check with you next time. See y'all.
See ya.